Hey everybody, welcome to what was that?
Wasn't me.
That weird noise. I might be losing my mind. Welcome everyone
Yep.
to Cloaks, 5e D&D stream from Penny Dragon Games. I'm Ben, your DM. We're taking you on a dive into the lives of the most overworked City Watch officers in all the known realms in the world of Andavan. So if you're new to the stream, you can catch up on the story so far over on the Penny Dragon Games YouTube channel, and the most recent episodes will be up on the Twitch channel as usual. But we don't just stream Cloaks. We've got a ton of other great shows. Every week, a bit of a rotating roster. Some include the Fellowship of the Fallen with DM Juan. That's on every Tuesday. He's I think the only one of us who runs every week, because he's made of sterner stuff, I think, than the rest of us. The man is a machine. So the Fellowship, they had a strange run-in with the woman in charge of Leylon, known affectionately as the Growler. Did she try and cast a spell on Magnar moments before the party left on their latest quest? Only time will tell. Then on alternating Fridays, DM Dave runs the Sothrone Saga, which will continue on Friday the 19th of August, this coming Friday. The party have arrived at the Druid Braytax's Grove just in time to defend it from the incoming horde of giants. This could be their most challenging battle yet. And that's saying something, as far as those things go. Every other Sunday, so opposite this game, Cloaks, DM Mark runs the Violet Madness. They were live last Sunday, and in case you missed it, the Swampy Maya has really started to take its toll on the party. Damon seems uneasy. Aelfric learns that he's a wanted man, and Shadar finds the answer to a question he regrets he ever asked. Then we have Richard, who runs the Churn Gang, Humblewood game on alternate Fridays, and actually both myself and Nico are in that game, and we have been out to stop. I think the world ending is the end game, but we're still 16th level. But recently, the party took down the evil Baba Blackbeak, the Corvid hag who was stealing babies and replacing them with changelings and just trying to rule all of Alderheart.
Pretty horrific crap.
Yeah. We've seen glimpses of the 666th layer of the Abyss, and I think the only thing that's left on the to-do list is to kill some gods. So, standard D&D.
Well, and perhaps rescue a demon mushroom. I mean,
yeah, we're gonna kill gods and rescue demons. You think most D&D games you start off
for
thinking,
inviting me in to play games.
Yeah, you think you'll end up slaying demons and working for gods. No, but as always happens, the party has their own agenda, and we end up, killing gods and rescuing demons. Then that's it for our more regular games. But on Thursdays on the schedule, we have a couple of alternating games, which are more monthly than bi-weekly. But Rime of the Frost Maiden, which is run by DM Craig, is on hiatus right now as Craig braves the frigid Canadian North on tour. He'll be returning on the 1st of September for episode 4, The Road to Bryn Shander. In the meantime, you can watch the party for the first time and undergo their first adventure together by catching up on the first 3 episodes right on the Penny Dragon Games YouTube channel. And then lastly, for the campaigns, DM Tom's Candlekeep Mysteries is actually going to be coming back soon. So there's been a bit of a summer break for the party as we were trapped in the extraplanar manor in Candlekeep. So I'm saying we because I'm in the game. So we have 4 of the 7 puzzle books, and the furniture seems less aggressive for now. It bit Dave's character on the arse. But we'll be back on the 25th of August to see if we can find the rest of the books and escape from our extra-dimensional prison. And then some days, if we have cancelled streams or if there's just a slot free, Ryan will often run Penny for Your Thoughts, a sort of a talk show discussion about D&D and D&D related topics. There was a great one last week or this week. God, I don't remember now. Time has no meaning anymore. We had DM Dave, Richard, Mark. I think Tom might have been there. I'm sorry, Tom, if you were and I've forgotten, or if I've forgotten anyone else that was on. But there was a great discussion to be had, and that should be up on the Penny Dragon Games YouTube channel soon, if not already. So with all the shows, you can catch the VODs of them on the YouTube channel, including this one. We've also got, if you see through the chat, our merch store is up. We've got cups, stickers, a whole bunch of stuff with things from the shows you can support us with. But last but not least, on the housekeeping side of things, launching in 2 days now, on the 16th, so on Tuesday, at hang on, sorry guys, I want to make sure I get those details right. So just to give you a quick update on the Waystar Kickstarter that's going to be launching. So it's basically, Waystar is it's kind of a sci-fi conversion for 5th edition. It's a big project. There's going to be 3 core books, a sort of a basic, your player's guide, your GM's guide, and your monster book, a bestiary. So it is, think Firefly, Mass Effect. If you want to play these kind of games, but you want to use the engine of 5e and you don't want to learn a whole new system, it's great for that. We've got new classes to, really fit those themes. So that is launching on the 16th. I think, Kyle, is it going to be 5 p.m. Pacific Standard, or that's the usual launch time for Kickstarters?
Yeah. 5 p.m. Pacific Standard, or about as close as we get to that.
We're gonna. It's always could be a minute or two behind or more, but keep an eye, and you can sign up to be notified on launch if you're like me and you have a terrible memory. So with all of that out of the way, just one final thank you before I get to intros. The character art for the party that we're going to see is by the amazing James Austin. There is a fantastic map which was made by Kate of @itsamap on Instagram and Twitter. So I'm going to finally get to reveal the map in all its glory tonight. With the upcoming Trial by Combat, I'm just going to do away with the dynamic lighting, I think, and we'll just see it in all its splendor, and I will post on social media afterwards if you want to get a good look at it. And last but certainly not least, before that, there is going to be some music by Tabletop Audio tonight, so shout out to them. But really last but not least, big thank you to Christian for all his tech wizardry and the incredible overlays. We wouldn't be able to do the stream without him. I certainly wouldn't, because I suck at anything related to technology. So, with all that said, let's get to some play introductions. Who have I got on my screen? Up first, Nico. You tell us who we're going to be seeing tonight.
Hello, everybody. I'm Nico. I play Petrie, the once tall, handsome, troublemaking elf artificer who is now this poor, shriveled, burned version of himself, but he's still got all the goods inside, and he's making up for all of his little mistakes and experiments gone wrong by cleaning up the city with all the other little riffraff. Trying not to blow shit up.
Yes, you are. That's a lie. But speaking of trouble and troublemaking, Fona, who have we got?
Did I know that was going to be me? Hello, I'm Fona. I play Andy, who is the party's rogue. She's young, she's antisocial, she has a cat called Ember, and she's currently trying to decide how she's going to get her sparkly bangle of being bound to the brown cloaks on work release from prison off her wrist. She has a couple of options in
so we really
making.
Should have workshopped that name more.
Yeah, she has a couple of options on the table, including potentially stabbing some of the party. So she's got a bit of a decision to make.
That she does. Next up, speaking of somebody who might get stabbed in the front or the back, who knows? Kyle, Not you, Pouches.
I was going to
Well-
say, do I need to worry? Also, let's
I'm
be
several
honest.
continents
Speaking
away.
of people who want to blow things up, come on.
Oh,
All I want
speaking
is
of-
level
yeah.
5 and Fireball.
Some people just want to see the world.
Pouches just wants Fireball. Just let him
Yeah.
get to level 5 and give him Fireball.
Well,
He'll
if
blow
you
himself
survive,
up.
you'll all be level 5. Which is Chandler.
Okay,
If we survive, we'll be level 5.
There's that chance for
in my life, guys.
Mhm.
Everyone loves punching one extra time.
So I'm playing Pouches, the party wizard, who is a little street rat who grew up on the streets of Minehelm, and they tried to educate him and take him to university, and he told them that their way of magic was stupid and that he wanted to learn the real way of magic, which to him is the arcane, not the divine, and so went and became a ruthless little street rat who learned magic on his own and somehow ended up not getting arrested for it.
Yeah.
Like-
Somehow. I mean, I don't know how.
How am I the member of the party not
most
in
of
jail?
the only one, you, and it's only you and Thana, who isn't technically a brown cloak yet, are the only two that don't have the
Naughty,
prisoner
naughty.
bracelet.
And yet I've probably done more than all 3 of the people who do.
Yeah, of course.
I've probably broken the law the most in the party.
Yeah, I think that gives our next character a bit of a headache. So Boyd, why don't you?
Hey, what's up, folks? I'm Boyd, and I'll be playing Duro Stonehelm. Yeah, a lot of the time I have to put up with this party's nonsense and keep them on board, but yeah, it's a work in progress. So let's see, he's a young, naive dwarf. He's only 70, but in dwarf years, that's like 19. He gets uncontrollably antsy whenever he crawls through dungeons and is in dangerous places. He's a pugilist, which is a homebrew class by Benjamin Hoffman. It's like a strength-based monk, more focused on boxing instead of martial arts. He loves tales of old adventures and is obsessed with them like a nerdy teen loves Spider-Man. He likes to throw hands, and he swears a lot in a particularly dwarven fashion.
Nice. Yeah. And last, certainly not least, Tendai.
Hi, I'm Tendai. I play Thana, a cheerfully morbid cleric who is quite new to the party and still trying to figure out, or I suppose suss out, all the people.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're very weird. And that's
very
saying
much
something
so.
coming from Thana.
Yeah, exactly. I feel
Well,
quite
these
normal
guys-
with this bunch.
These guys got problems. Yeah, with the I think it's rat skulls on the earrings. Little skulls.
Yeah.
Or bird skulls, I can't remember.
It was rat skulls.
Of course it was. So, just a bit of a recap for folks at home or anyone who's not been following along and has just joined us now. So, the party, to cut a long story short, had been sent on a mission by their superiors to a refugee camp outside the walls of Minehelm, which basically wasn't really getting the assistance it needed because they should have been under the jurisdiction of the Green Cloaks, who kind of deal with the countryside, but it's a bunch of poor, destitute people who don't pay taxes, so fuck them as far as the powers that be are concerned. But you were sent in to chase off some brigands, or that had been hassling them, or at the very least investigate the matter. You eventually tracked the brigands to a stronghold deep in the swamps in this cursed ruin, or supposedly cursed ruin anyway, so you've been told by a bog witch and others at the camp. But it seems that the brigands are a little more than just random outlaws. They seem quite organized. You were met with a large force. The party did manage to sneak around, pick some off, actually with the help of some mysterious benefactor / assassin from the shadows. Someone was sniping these dudes from the tree line once or twice when it looked like one was about to raise the alarm. But eventually you were making your way further in, and things came to a head. People were killed, noise was made, and the commanders of the brigand band, who call themselves the Fearless Fellows, descended on you. There was a fight. It looked like you were really outgunned and outmatched. And then the leader of the Fearless Fellows, a man they called Belloc the Deathless, he stepped in and has basically offered the party, a bargain, which is, you're here to stop me, you say you want me gone, okay, so you're not going to clear us all out, you're going to go down in a fight, but let's make this fight fair. So the 5 of you versus me, and so if you can kill me, I'll tell my crew to clear out of the ruins, and believe me, they will, because we're going to sign a contract, and they are mercenaries, and there's one thing that the mercenaries understand. So it's going to be, I think the party had more or less concluded they were going to, but if that's not the case, I guess we'll find out as we jump in now, because I just wanted to ask you all, before we jump into it, it's going to move us onto the map. So does anybody have, as we are here now, I think it should all be saved. I kind of made a copy of the map for if and when things kind of went south. I did move some people around, but this is where we left off. Has that pinged people to Doral? Yeah. So is anybody going to object? Is anybody not in for...
Was I brought up on 1 HP? Just wanted...
You were brought up, and then their cleric, this person, the sisters, they refer to them as, they supposedly 3 souls inhabiting 1 body, or so they say. They gave you a bit more than that. Yeah, they brought you back. Actually, hang on, let me see, because it would have been... Actually, hang on, oh no, I've got their sheet. Do they have a... let me double check. Do they have like a...
Does anyone know how to turn off dark mode on Roll20? I can't see anything, and I can't figure out how to turn it off.
On the
There
left.
should be a little toggle on the left-hand side under the control bar.
Ah, the little
Weird on
moon.
it.
Whoa! Thank
Cool,
you.
you got 9. You came back with 9 hit points.
Okay.
Big cure, first level cure wounds. 5 plus 4. Or they did, rather.
Yeah, so for starters, your name is Belloc the Deathless, right? And then we've
That's
also
correct.
got to take your word that everyone here is just going to be like, "Aye, you killed our boss. Away you go now. We'll head on home."
Well, if you kill me, then he points to she has pale hair in the token art, but she doesn't actually in jet black hair, a high elven woman, and he points to her. She's got spectacles on. He says, if I die, then Blackberry will become will be boss, and they will do as she says. And she is nothing if not meticulous and fastidious.
Can I make an insight check on Blackberry to see if she would keep her word if we killed her boss?
Sure. She was the one that was like holding a book and contracts. She appears to be like the quartermaster or and clerk, head clerk.
And by not come back, do you mean ever or until we've left?
Sorry, what was that, T?
That was one of the clauses in the contract, that they wouldn't come back. Is that won't come back for good, or will come back for a little bit?
And he kind of points at Blackberry, and he says, he's like, this one. He's like, this one. A good question. No, of course, I will. We can have it written explicitly that we will not return to this place ever in perpetuity. We will abandon it for all time.
And this
And
will
not just
include
move down the
anyone.
road.
Or
Yeah.
at least until, and he kind of gesturing to his other commanders, at least until the 5 of us are there.
I'm gonna try and sort of lean into this guy and persuade him. I say, what about the name? The Deathless. Must be a good story behind that. You fancy telling me?
Oh, it would be a long story.
I too am quite curious about that.
We've got time. We've got till tomorrow morning. Remember, we're only fighting tomorrow.
Well, my story is long, but it can be summed up quite simply, which is no one has ever been able to kill me.
I think that's true of all people.
And he
Or at least the breathing ones.
yeah, it's true. He laughs. he laughs, and he
I love
points
that.
at the deep scar around his neck, which looks like it could be a rope burn or someone tried to slit his throat.
Hmm.
And it kind of disappears behind his hair. He says, "Many have tried."
I'm gonna like pull up my like under the coat. I'm gonna start like pull up and be like, seriously, and like there's like a jagged scar up my side. I'm like fucking mugging when I was 6.
Look, I haven't been around the block much, but I have done a lot of reading. Can she cast resurrection magic? Are you a death totem barbarian? What is it? How you coming back?
Says,
Can
"Well,
Thana
let
like
us
just?
He says, sorry, Thana, yeah? Go on.
I was gonna say, can Thana just kind of like edge a little closer, really curious to see where this is going?
Yeah, he says, well, let us just say this. We will stipulate that once you defeat me in combat this day, I will leave.
So, unconsciousness or death? That's really what I'm asking.
Oh, it will be a fight until the death, but if you are worried that I may come back someday, who knows? There is very powerful magic in this world.
I really
I
don't
have
care
heard-
because I feel like you're trustworthy. If a bit
While
Uh,
we're distracting him, can Watson be investigating around and see if there's any sort of indication about what this guy might be?
Yeah, you're like investigating him, or
No, like Watson will kind of be looking around because we're near his little area, right?
Yeah.
His
this is like the
yeah. So while we're
meeting
distracting
hall.
him, Watson wants to go around and
Sure, just give
Snoop.
a stealth check for Watson. And you're like this room here, the sort of
yeah. Well, because we're trying to figure this
what
guy
was
out, right? I
once
just want to.
a great
curious
hall,
if there's-
I suppose,
Okay.
or like a meeting hall.
Which token is Balak?
Oh, sorry, was this? Oh, hang on, sorry, this guy should be deleted.
I think I've been going the wrong way
Yeah,
around the
sorry,
table.
he's
Okay.
yeah,
Maybe
sorry,
that one?
He is here. This isn't exactly what he looks like, but it's was a good approximation. I think it's
I
actually
recognize that art. It's from the Blood Hunter class,
the Blood
right?
Hunter. Yeah. He actually. Oh wow. Who's sorry guys, I don't have Twitch open, but did we get raided?
We got raided by High Rollers D&D.
Oh
Woo!
shit!
Welcome, High
Hello.
Rollers.
Hi.
Hey, thanks so much.
Hey, I rolled
God damn.
Welcome to the coolest group of misfits.
Yeah, that's our theme song.
Na, na, na.
That's our theme song. Yeah, so
My God.
Belloc is it is I think he doesn't actually have he has a lot of stubble, but he doesn't have facial hair like that in real life. He's actually clean shaven and just very long, not very long, but long, at least shoulder length black hair. He's he's tall, he's quite tall and broad, but not like overly muscled. He's quite sort of more of like a swimmer's body, He's like,
Yeah.
and he has like long arms, and you've seen this before, this black blade on his back with the sort of that wavy blade, like a flamberge, or however it's pronounced.
Well,
So
I
give
got
me a
my-
stealth check for Watson, Nico, sorry.
Sorry, did I? I thought I clicked it.
Did you?
Did
Oh,
it go?
you did. My roll 20 was being slow. A 9. Yeah,
Oh,
Watson is
9.
flitting around and he's like trying to flit, and you just as Doril is talking to Belloc and the rest of you are, and Thana has sidled up, and they're kind of watching and listening intently. There's a moment of silence. Just a brief moment, and all of you hear just like clink, chunk, just like tankards and cups being knocked over as Watson rather indelicately just to sort of like hover down above the table and read the whatever papers and contracts they're signed. It's like clink, water
crap.
spill.
Oh, come on, Watson. What did I tell you about getting into the liquor? Jeez, come on back. Sorry.
I could like roll my eyes at this like hard, and then be
He said
like,
he's like-
okay, well, let me look at this contract.
He says, we have our pet chained up around the back. Perhaps, we could lend you a leash for this one.
What pet do you have?
Oh, would you like to see?
Yes, please.
Well, very well. Well, I will show you. If you may leave, as I said, you may leave with your lives intact.
Yeah,
I will
I'm
not
gonna
harass you,
like-
but if you do, I promise you. Excuse me. Your name, please.
Me?
Thana. Yeah.
Why?
Oh well, I just thought
That's
it would be more
Thana,
polite.
that's
as we are doing
Andy.
business.
I'm Pouches. That's
Oh,
Petrie.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Thank you, Thana. I will show you the beast
I'm
before you leave.
before we leave. Okay, I'm just going to like look over a Pouches, like throwing him daggers. Like nobody gives.
Bro,
a
Pouches
damn.
gives no care. He has been a sibling for way too long to someone who has far better dagger eyes than Thana.
We'll see.
Ben, while all this was going on, Andy kind of like moved around the room a little bit, and she's kind of standing near Belloc now, and she's been eyeing up all the others. So, like, do they look like they've got means, or like, do they look like they're being successful in their brigandness?
In their brigandness. Well, I actually do need to just check one thing because I want to see if it's in this room or if it's in another room.
Don't tell me they won the trophy of the brigand championships. It's on the shelf.
It is in here. So, will you give me a perception check, please?
Yes. Perception.
If now you're looking specifically to see if they have means, like monetary means?
Basically, are they looking like they're successful? So it could be monetary, it could be stuff that you could easily sell for money. But like, are they doing well in this life of brigandry?
Sure.
So perception. Ooh, not 20.
Yeah. Not only do you see the chest of gold that's out here, but you see
Where is your chest of gold?
there are valuables here, and also here, and there were some on the table, but you have a pretty close accounting. They have, so by a merchant scale and all this thing, they have close to 1,000 gold pieces, close to about 2,400 silver pieces. There's a black pearl pendant, which you'd estimate to be in the range of 200 to 300 gold pieces. Three citrines, I forgive my pronunciation, the yellow gemstones.
Citrine?
They look to citrine. I think it's citrine, isn't it? Yeah, they seem to be worth about 50 gold each. Silver, and there's a silver and amethyst circlet, which looks like it would also fetch between 50 and 100 gold. A coral dragon statue, a little statuette, that would be maybe in the region of 100 gold. A platinum and star rose quartz ring worth about 100 gold. A pouch of small milk diamonds. Can't see how many are in there, but it's probably in the region of like 300 gold's worth. A ceremonial rose gold cup worth between 100 and 200 gold, and a brass and stained glass hookah, which seems to be worth, you'd say, about 150 to 250 gold, and more that you probably can't see. They look loaded up with treasure, and that's what's out in the open.
Do I notice Andy salivating?
Yeah, and
No, what you've probably seen is like up until this, Andy was like, "I think we should run away," or "I think I should try and convince them to like that I could join the brigand party. They get the bracelet off, and we'd go our separate ways." Now Andy's like, you can probably see the switch flip as she's like, "Oh yeah, we're totally fighting this dude."
Yeah, she wants.
She's like.
Booty.
When like up until now she's been skulking around, clearly not invested in the conversation, possibly about to run away. But now all of a sudden she looks like, oh yeah, bring it on. We can totally take this dude.
So yeah, I'm talking to Belloc, I just say to him, I think I'm gonna need like a sidebar here. Could I have a little chat with my pals in private?
Of course. And he says, I tell you what, he says, you can have your conversation in my quarters.
All right. Sure.
That's very kind of you.
Or wherever you may like, but it is more comfortable, I must say.
Okay.
There are some perks.
Thank you.
I don't like to make myself too comfortable, but it is more private.
You're very generous.
Lead the way.
Okay, let me just grab everybody.
We need to huddle up.
Can Dana try and just read the energy around this
Sure.
whole like
Yeah, give me an insight check.
interaction? So something's not right. Insight, yeah.
Insight, yeah. Now, this is just generally for like the vibes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So actually, before I drop you on there, it is so not actually far from where you were. Sorry, I got to load this up again. You can see this sort of round tower area here.
Mm-hmm.
Just to the left of where you were, that goes up. It's the only in. Sorry, it's the
Sorry,
only
where,
intact.
can you show again?
Yep, it is the only
there.
intact staircase.
Okay.
It leads up here.
Sure.
It's pretty. It's a modest. Lodging. Okay, you're all in. Yeah, it's a pretty modest lodging. There is that fire is not actually burning as of yet. It's just burning on the map. So yeah, it's pretty modest. There's a couple bits of furniture. There's some books, like personal items, and a cot.
Did Bella come with us?
No, he has. He's remained downstairs,
Okay.
basically at the foot of the stairs with his men.
So-
Well, you're not sure exactly
Oh,
where he is now. He led you up, and then he walked
Went
back
away.
down the stairs. But there
So
is
as
no
soo-
door.
As soon as I heard him sufficiently far away, Andy is immediately going to start like carefully tossing the place.
Yeah, of course you.
We
Let's-
probably shouldn't do that.
I go to I try to signal to everyone to not talk. I go to the door and listen. I look at the bottom of it. Is there a shadow underneath it? I try to check the room. Is there somewhere in the walls that is the picture watching me now?
Yeah, there's.
I
there
try
is
to comb
no.
this place.
Yeah, there is no door. It's just the stairs going down, and at the foot of the stairs, same as when you encountered them, there are guards stationed there. They are not looking outward. They are turned, sort of facing each other. And as Belloc led you up, then led you back down, you could see that the guards are stationed at the foot of the stairs. So I wouldn't be too noisy. I'd be careful about the rummaging, but you are more than welcome to try rummaging.
She has to.
So will you give me a perception check? Perception. or I suppose. Yeah, give me a perception check.
In from Juro?
Doral,
I
and
don't think
give me
this is
stealth.
a good idea, considering he's being quite generous to start off with. He probably won't be as kind if he finds he's missing belongings. before we
Mm.
even
Never
fight.
said I was gonna take anything. I just want to see what's here.
You're always going to try and take something.
Just leave her alone. She's
Creaking
going to do it
floorboards.
anyway. At least this way we can make sure she cleans up after herself.
Yeah, but
Andy is a little excited, a little excitable. So it's not the stealthiest. You can hear a little bit of, a table
For the
being
love of
moved
order.
and some jingling. So, Doral, you can hear a set of footsteps coming up the stairs. Sound and chainmail rattling.
Someone coming. I'm like mouthing to people, there's someone coming. So yeah, should we
And he-
take this deal or what?
Guy
Oh,
appears, with a
Oh,
short
there.
sword and spear.
Andy is back innocently standing in
And
the
he's
circle.
kind of looking. He's
chatting.
just like, anything that I can get for our guests.
some water, please.
Very well.
And a drink.
And a fish.
He's looking.
Maybe some privacy.
He says, "Don't push it." He says, "Yeah, we'll give you your privacy if you extend some courtesy." And he kind of is looking over at, a table and like
He
a
will.
chest that was on there and
Yeah, man.
that may
feel
have been
free-
moved, and he's trying to get a sense of.
Feel free to pat her down before we leave. She's got sticky fingers. Anyway, we need to talk.
He just nods and heads back down the stairs. He's muttering something.
Told you.
I'm having like a solid chuckle at this. Like
Yeah.
looking between like Andy is probably like outraged that
Yeah.
She's
pretty much
sitting-
been-
Now,
She's sitting petulantly on the bed now.
now, Andy, will you give me an investigation? Because I'm assuming, you were looking for stuff, but
I
that
got
was just
something.
to determine how stealthily you did it.
So 11 for investigation.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of the stuff seems to be sort of tucked away somewhere, like at a glance, and with what little time you had, you couldn't ferret out anything, super valuable. But it is something actually quite nice on the table by an open book. Appears to be a work of fiction. There is a small cup, like a wooden cup, and it's a very simple wooden cup, and then a bottle of very clear liquid that just you pop the cork, and it is just the instant sharp, tang of alcohol. And I'm trying to think. Would you give me a history check, or anyone who wants to smell it? If you're passing it around, people can give, I suppose, history
Hey.
checks or
Uh-huh.
Andy doesn't know a lot about alcohol, in fairness.
no. Doral, I'm
I'll
going to give
take
you
a sniff.
advantage for a particular reason.
An investigation,
History.
yeah? History.
This is just
20.
First nat 20 of the night.
No, I got one.
27.
oh nice. Yeah, I think Andy got nat 20 on the perception for the. Oh yeah.
We should
So
all get
actually-
nat 20s, but we should save them
Yeah.
for Belloc.
Yeah. Thana and Pouches. Thana, you had seen this actually. You remember it was all that was left of a man when you were training in the ash yard,
Mhm.
and you're disposing of a body. You remember this being used in a pinch by one of your superiors that was training you, basically to what we would know is it would be disinfecting something. A lot of people, the ash folk, that train in the ash yard and dispose of corpses, particularly diseased ones, are often, viewed as being like, oh, diseased and dirty. But ironically, they know a lot more about cleanliness
Hygiene.
and hygiene than a lot of people.
Mhm.
But in a pinch, this was used because this is very
I
high
see.
alcohol. you'd smelled it before. You remember. Can't remember when it was. It was a while ago, but both you and Pouches, you recognize it from the days on the streets. There was a man who worked for Lord Puddle. That he came from a distant land whose name I have forgotten, because Paddy gave me the name a while ago and I didn't write it down, of where Belloc is from, and it is I came up with Belloc, but I basically asked, is there a sort of in the world of Andavan, is there a kind of I suppose a Slavic inspired region, God, I can't remember, the name's escaping me, but anyway, this guy worked for Lord Puddle, and he was quite a kind old man. You remember he died of a chill one time, and it was the first time you'd ever tried alcohol, and it was quite an introduction because it was very cold, and this guy gave you a nip of this drink, which again, we know nowadays it's not a good idea. It doesn't actually warm you, but it was immediately obvious to you how it got its name, which, Zana, you also were told the name by your superior, and the way that it's so clear liquid, and the way that it cut your throat as you drank it, you knew why they call it glass wine, and it is basically like very strong vodka.
I'm gonna take a sip then. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna be like,
same.
let's enjoy this memory, just like a small sip, and just think back to those times on the street.
Yeah, you drinking it, Zana, someone dousing a cut in it, So give me constitution checks, both of you.
Yeah, okie dokie.
Nine.
The character sheet isn't loading properly.
Good. Yeah, perhaps it's some stronger than you remember. You think that guy might have had watered down shit, This is
if I thought it was strong, wait till you see what Thana rolled.
I'm so screwed.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, I got 3.
You were like, this was not made for humanoid consumption. There was a reason they weren't drinking it, and they were pouring it on wounds. That's all it's good for. It's paint thinner. It's like your head gets quite swimmy for a while. It kind of knocks you back, and it really hits you hard. I don't think you're a fan. I don't think Thana's a big fan of the taste of glass wine.
No, not at all. Definitely needs to be diluted.
Yeah, this feels very much for both of you like an acquired taste. It's and from the accent and the alcohol and prize and display, you are pretty sure where Belloc is. It would be fairly evident anyway. So he's, there's a look of a lot of the Fearless Fellows. It's clearly fairly international. Well, it's mostly people from this region, but it's a fairly international band. You get mercenaries from all over, so it seems like they're not just limited like locally. They've clearly traveled around Andavan. Yeah,
right.
Mercenaries and outlaws. When they're not under contract, they seem to be just doing what they're doing now, which is, looting and
from my perception check earlier, do I think we are on our own here, that we can talk in private?
Yeah. With the exception of the 2 guards who are stationed at the foot of the stairs, you're pretty confident. No one is. Yeah, they're probably listening. They're not. You're in another room, but you're maybe 10, 15 feet up in an echoey stone. Although there's ambient noise, but
I'm gonna take the bottle back from Thana and be like, seriously, we got a plan now. And then take another sip, put the cork back in, and put it back on in its spot.
What
It's only marginally better the second time.
what do you guys think we should do then? I mean,
Well,
he's untrustworthy. He's deathless. He killed me in one punch.
well,
I'm now exhausted and can't fight. I have
Well, he said he'd give us to tomorrow to
My life.
recover him before we fight him.
yes, but
There's
even
got to be a
even,
way
like,
to trick our way into this.
this dude kicked
He's-
my
he-
arse.
So he had, by the way, just to reiterate, he has said if you don't take him up on the offer,
we can leave.
Yeah.
Without
you
a
can
fight.
just leave.
Yeah, I've already looked around this room to see if there's an exit, but there doesn't seem to be.
Well, I don't think he's untrustworthy. I think he's a bit of a bastard, but I don't think he's untrustworthy.
It's not.
There's all catch.
untrustworthy he
There's-
is. It's whenever we kill him. If these people will just let us go.
That I'm not so sure about.
By
But I
fighting
feel like
this guy.
if we wanted to turn around and leave now, he'd let us walk out the door.
He would. I think he would on that front. I'm not sure about the rest of the people he's with. And also, look at what he did to Girl in, like, it was practically nothing. So I'll take, realistically, if maybe a few rounds and he's got us all.
30 seconds, and what you're saying is 30 seconds, and he would dismantle all of us.
Yes.
Essentially.
He absolutely destroyed me. I was.
Yeah, but that's not that hard.
If he
No,
said
no,
he's
no,
gonna
no.
let us walk out, though, he doesn't say he's not gonna kill us once we walk out. After we
And,
walk
like,
I
out.
don't understand. I learned a new technique where I take way less damage from attacks. He destroyed me. It should not have been possible.
I'm just giving you some uphill, though. Like, that was terrifying for me too. I'm just teasing you because, well, I'm me.
I get it, but I think we should just. I think we should just walk out.
I mean, I'm always for like turning tail and running, but I'm just gonna say like it's a deal, and what are we gonna do? Go back to Minehelm and like get our asses handed to us for like not doing anything about the brigands? Like this is why they.
We've done plenty. They're now not in Camp Carbuncle anymore. You know.
Why do you really want to stay and fight?
Well, some of us might die, and she like very deliberately looks around the whole party and not at anyone in particular. But like some of us might survive, and then he'll be gone. And
It's all right for you. Stood back there 20 fucking yards away with a goddamn bow and arrow. I'm up front getting my ass whooped.
And I'm usually up front stabbing.
I've seen you shoot a lot more than you stabbed.
Just to make her point, like she takes a dagger out and flicks it in her hand slightly, and like just glares.
I don't doubt you could stab me with that from here. But
Okay, children, enough with the play fighting.
I want to suss if I can tell Andy's not being truthful as to the honest reasons for choosing to stay.
there's
I often wonder how to deal now with insight checks between
Pairs.
party members. I suppose it's reasonable that Thana, if you want to make an insight and you want to make deception, Andy, because it seems reasonable enough, I suppose.
Ah,
that,
come on.
Please.
I think Andy beats Donna's 5 even without rolling.
Wow.
Andy! Deceiving bitch.
So, yeah, you were. Look, hey, Zana, obviously, Tendai, you're free to think whatever you want. You know, you're free
I'm still
to
not
have Zana
gonna
think
believe
whatever
it.
she wants. But still, Andy was very convincing. It would be, you know.
Well, considering I'm still quite new to the party and all I've done really is watch people, I'm definitely going to think that Andy is seeing this a bit as more of a score than anything else. So I'm going to definitely be like, sure.
I will admit, Andy has probably, since you met her, Thana, Andy has probably done nothing but bitch and moan about the fact that we've been sent out here, and has never given the impression of being honor and duty bound. Like,
Yeah, no, that's why it's so different. That's why this is so different. Usually, Andy would be the like to be like, sign of danger. You're like, no, let's try and handle this quickly and leave. And the fact that you're like, we should stay and fight, just alarm bells. I'm gonna be like, this is not the same person we thought earlier.
Okay.
There's just
Let's all agree to this now. We make this decision as a group. Whatever we all decide, we all follow.
I will do whatever the group consensus is, but I've just got one thing to say. I look around all you guys, and you, for instance, Pouches, you can manipulate the arcane arts. The tree over here, he can make
Melt
magical item we need. Andy's Andy, she's got sticky fingers, but like Thana can rely on the magics of her deity. All I've ever had is a flame inside me that will not go out, that tells me to keep fighting. And today it went out. That guy kicked my arse in a way I didn't think was possible.
Well, we're not going to win one-on-one. We're going to have to come up with a clever way together.
Boyd,
if we're going to get him. I might have the right tool for the job. Literally.
Boyd, would you
we just need time.
Give me a wisdom check.
Sure. Just wisdom check. I clicked that right. There we go. A 10.
As you're saying that, all I've ever had is this, I don't have these abilities. It's just strange. You kind of feel, you're suddenly become very aware of the presence of the Titan Hand belt around your waist, using the rock can, and you're standing up, but you can almost feel the ground sort of pulling up, like you feel the ground, set like a story beneath you, sort of stirring. You kind of feel the power of the earth as you're saying, I can't do, you can do this, you can do that, I'm just a brute, I'm just a boxer, you feel and you can start to sort of sense, there's almost a fizzing or a tickle on your hand. You can kind of sense like particles of sand or clay whirling around your fist as they would when you summon the Titan Hand.
So just a heads up, if we weren't screwed enough, Christian just gifted 5 subs and gave Ben inspiration.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh crap.
Oh Lord.
In response to Durrell's impassioned kind of speech, Andy's just gonna like shake her head and she's gonna be like, I can't have more people to look over my shoulder and watch my back from. There can't be any more. And these are gonna be just another set hanging around.
I gotta agree with Andy, or like, as much as I don't want to agree with Andy, I gotta agree with Andy. If we can't face them, how are the people back in the camp going to?
Well, screw the people in the camp.
Well, what if we get them on our side? What if we all band together?
I think we need to stand up to this guy here and now.
I agree with all that. I agree with all that, but Jesus Christ, like, Morden's beard, are these people gonna actually let us walk out of here? Are they actually gonna leave? I don't know. But I have said it. I said it at the beginning. I'll do whatever you guys think is the best. But that was a bad beat. And you can see him. He is exhausted. As part of my class feature of like receiving resistance to bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing, he becomes exhausted afterwards. He's done. He's sunken, black eyes, cuts and scrapes all over him.
Mm-hmm.
Wrecked.
I think it was necrotic damage that he hit you with the
yeah,
black flame. It was basically 3 black flame eldritch blast type things.
Tree, what do you think we should do? It seems to me that this
I-
vote is going to come down to you.
Well, guys, I can't miss this opportunity to take this guy out. I mean, come on. But I think we need time to figure this out.
I
If
think
I
we
have
get
time
one
to sit
shot.
down, I can come up with the right tool for the job, and I think we could maybe take him out.
Well, we've got
But-
till tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we just need to make the decision.
Magically create one set of artisan's tools. What do we need?
I appreciate all your guys' support. I think. And he takes a deep breath. I think maybe in the morning, after a bit of rest, I'd be up for this. Just not right now.
Well,
No,
one-on-one.
not right now. I need.
We
I
can't.
need
What if we
magic
just
back.
blow him up from far away, guys? What if we just blow him up?
I somehow don't think he will accept that. That really isn't much of a fair fight to the death, and he seems to be all
Seems
about
Fair,
that.
it's fair. Use the tools at your disposal. Come on, it's fair.
I'll be honest. I prepared my sneaky spells for today. Tomorrow I will be preparing my not so sneaky spells. My go boom spells.
Sana is just going to look over at Doral and see how tired he is, and like, whatever people want to do, I don't really have anywhere else to be right now. So,
Well, we're going to rely on you if we face them.
oh well,
It's going to be your job to keep us alive.
absolutely,
You
and
do
I
live
will
in the
be
swamp.
there.
Well, you don't live in this, but you've been. Meg lives in the swamp.
True. So I will fight for those who need it, but I will support everybody. Obviously, I'm just not sure if this is the right thing to do.
I
I don't
think
know either. I'm with you, but 2 versus 3.
at this point I'm going to walk to the door and I'm going to be like, and I'm just going to shout down the stairs and be like, we need to talk to Belloc. Do we come with you or do you come with bring him to us?
One of them goes off, and
I'll walk down the stairs while he leaves.
yeah, and he comes. But he's brought. Belloc sort of appears from the archway across. He says, "Do we have a decision?"
We have a decision.
Well, well then we best. We do not need to worry about the contract until
Before.
tonight, the morning before. It will take some time to draw up, and we will discuss the details. But you may come down. You have free reign of our encampment. My men will not harass you. But if you throw a punch, they will throw one back. I cannot promise anything once you start something.
That seems fair.
But there will be peace until you are ready to go, or until you are ready for one of us to die.
That seems fair. I must warn you though, we did take out a few of your men, so I hope the rest aren't holding grudges.
As I have already assured you, my men do exactly what I tell them to do.
Well, may I see your pet then, just in case I don't survive this fight?
Of course. Yes. And says, we can go now if you wish.
Yes, please. I need some air. I need to clear my thoughts.
Yeah, he says, I suppose he's kind of looking and he says, hey, you are some very interesting attire. It reminds me of the sisters. And he's looking at as he's walking away. I'm just going to go back to Now-
At this point, I'm going to slip away and I'm going to go look for their creepy little clown friend.
Yeah, and actually, as this is happening, during all this, the dog will come back. I'm actually going to grab his
Mr. Fibbles!
Mr. Fibbles.
Damn it, I thought we'd forgotten about the
Chap.
dog.
Thanks, Chap.
No.
Thanks for that name.
Yeah, thanks, chap. Seriously. So you can see now here if we zoom. Actually, do I have need to change the music actually? But you can see, I think, should be all visible. This is the awesome map. If we just zoom, if Christian or whoever, if we can zoom out just for a second, just to get the full glory of Kate's map here. That's at It's a Map on Twitter and Instagram. This thing is unreal. It's been mostly covered up by dynamic lighting. My apologies, but yeah. So you have free reign. Basically, you can go wherever you want. I've taken basically, with the exception of a couple of the commanders and then some of the captains below them. I've just removed off this version of the map. I've just removed all the tokens of like the grunts and the regular brigands. So, but you can assume they are milling
You've
about,
removed everyone off
sharpening
this map.
weapons. Yeah.
No, I mean like captains included. There are the five of us and no one else.
Sorry, they're on the GM layer. Just if I need to because I don't know, where they might be. This is you can move about really as much as you want. It's going to be pretty much just role play it unless somebody decides to start something, and we get into a fist fight. Yeah, it's going to be pretty much just kind of free roaming. But this is the map, and Thana, I suppose I'll bring you up here. Belloc has taken you through an archway here. You are over here, while Pouches is seeking out Dum Dum, the creepy little jester. And
Well, wait. Before I do that, was there any other than Dum Dum? I know there was a clerical spellcaster. Was there a wizard spellcaster among the party, among the captains?
it was difficult to tell. I suppose give me an Arcana check.
I'm really good at those.
While you're doing that, this is their pet, which is chained up. It is an enormous, sort of draconic, humanoid abomination. It seems you fought those kind of draconic mutants in the swamp. But there was something sort of humanoid about them. One of them looked quite humanoid, where it was mostly human and one arm was just big and scaly. So this has like a sort of a disturbingly human aspect to its face and kind of hands / claws, and it's enormous. It's like size huge. It's chained at the neck. And Belloc is saying, he says, well, we found it here when we arrived. He says, I lost quite a few men to it.
So you found it here, so you just decided to chain it up and take it home?
So, sorry, what was that? It decided to chain it up and
Take
broke
it
up.
home.
Well, it was it wasn't doing much with the place, but I will show it the world. If we can, I think we'll be taking it with us, perhaps.
Okay, and what assurances can you give us that your captains won't interfere with the fight with healings, blessings, things like that?
Well, I suppose I can give you only my word, but
We don't know each other.
we do not. How do I know that there are not brown cloaks on their way here to aid you?
I do not think most people would have the capacity to stay in this group for very long. So
I think not.
there is a reason why this group of misfits, so to speak, are the ones who came.
And he's looking around and says, well, you have seen my companions and I. We are not. And he's sort of speaking, seems to be speaking about himself and his gang and the brown cloaks you've met and you. We are not made for their world. We have too much life in us.
Much life and death, destruction.
This too. I am sure if you knew the things that I have done and that I have commanded others to do, you would call me a monster.
If you were,
But what is a monster?
that is true. I've known monsters who have worn the faces of the sweetest of grandmothers. However, since there are things that you believe would dub you a monster, even though you've probably seen worse, if you were in our shoes, would you stay and fight?
If I were in your shoes and I did not stay and fight, I would not be the man that I am today. And I would not command such fine warriors.
Do we even
You
have
can-
a chance?
There's always a chance.
No, but come on. Like, on a real level, person to person, do we have a chance? Could we feasibly defeat you and
If
kill
you
you?
did not have a chance, I would not have made you the offer. One can either live a long and dull life, or have a short and glorious one. And you might get lucky and you might have a long and glorious one.
I appreciate your candor. It's quite a
I
rare thing these
appreciate your
days.
company. It is. If you survive, you are more than welcome to join us on the road. But, well, your reaction to my chaining of this beast, I fear you would have a distaste for our business.
My morals tend to be quite mercurial in a lot of cases. However, I would probably try and get better conditions for your pet.
Very well. Well, mercurial morals make a magnificent mercenary. So, I spout poetry. I sound like Dum Dum. Where has he gotten to?
Yes, that one is quite interesting. Very interesting indeed.
And he's looking at your rat skull earrings and some of your other adornments. He says, I see one who is fascinated by death.
Oh, these used to be my pets. They died of old age. They were called Nibbles and Tickle.
So I had a dog once. He was called Fluffy. I don't know why. He did not have a lot of hair. Says, but this was many moons ago. And, well, perhaps I should be getting you back to your companions.
Lead the way. It's strange someone with a pet like Fluffy could now be called Violet the Deathless.
Well, Fluffy was no angel.
But Fluffy was an animal.
We are all animals. And he gives you the toothiest, sharp-toothed grin you've ever seen, and it is a little chilling.
Like,
a
would
wolf
normal
bearing,
people be scared?
yeah, like a wild animal bearing its teeth. Yeah.
I'm just going to like laugh like he just told a ridiculously funny joke and be like, "Oh, you're such a charmer."
Yeah. He is in a very unsettling, terrifying sort of way. It's probably why he's leading a band of,
Of mercenaries, yeah.
merciless killers. Pouches, you have gone to find Dum Dum, and where's your Arcana check?
14.
Let's see. Okay, yeah. So, it was very strange. You think it wasn't just wizardry. You're not. You think they might also be a druid. It was sort of druidic, but also arcane.
I'm just trying to think of, is there a spellcaster that is a wizard among the party?
She is black. Sorry, I meant to say Blackberry is at least partly a wizard.
I think I'm going to instead try and find Blackberry then.
Okay. So, is anyone else doing anything in particular right now around the camp?
Andy's gone back to pick up Ember from the crates.
Oh yeah.
And once she has Ember, Andy is just going to take herself off to sit near a ledge, and like chuck pebbles into the water.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And think about things.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've managed to stick around. Oh, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to plonk her there. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, Dural then is gonna go outside to the nearest place where he can touch raw earth. Probably just where he is at the moment, right? That's like a courtyard type area.
Yeah, there's mud and
he sort of finds himself a corner like over here and uses mold earth to give himself a bit of shelter, like a sort of makes a lean-to. Makes a plate of earth come out of the side of the wall, and he sits down cross-legged and he summons up two little humanoid type figures out of the earth. One seems to throw another pebble at the other one, and one falls down flat, and he repeats that same process over and over again, looking at it from different angles, figuring out one of the smaller, stockier humanoid figure attempts to dodge, but it still hits him. He attempts to draw up a piece of intervening rock, and it still pierces through the rock and hits him. And just has a sort of quizzical look on his face as he goes through round by round what happened to him in the previous fight and tries to come up with solutions to defeat the same enemy again in the future.
Yeah. As you do, you're reminded of training with your former master, and he's teaching you how to duck, dip. I can't remember. I can never remember dip, dive, and dodge.
Duck,
and he's
dodge.
you gotta stick and move. And he's he's teaching you all this, and it's a swelling of emotion, kind of hits you again that he's gone, but then it settles, and again you suddenly sort of feel the earth beneath you, and that little molder lean-to that you've made, you seem to almost, it's like it gives way, or it almost sort of, you kind of settle back into it. It's almost like you feel it sort of support you and lift your shoulders a little more, and doesn't feel quite like he's gone.
He just sort of says out loud, almost whispering, "You old bastard, you'd have known what to do, wouldn't you? No, you can't even fucking tell me." Miss you, old man.
The earth is silent but warm. Is Patri doing anything around camp? Oh, is anyone? I can't hear Nico.
No.
Sorry, I had you on mute. Myself on
Oh, on the
mute.
thing. Oh, sorry. I was like, oh shit! I was like, the Zoom's not muted. I was panicking.
No, I button on my laptop is just easier to press. Yeah, I'd like to. Patrice's gonna be up with Watson. I don't know, maybe up where we were before, and tinkering on my tools, working on something that might help us. I don't know. I'll think of something clever. And I would love for Watson to be flying around high, because Patrice just, man, this whole deathless thing, if he can only put that into an elixir, like he wants to learn all about this guy. So he's going to be working on something much cleverer than I can come up with at this very moment.
And so you're saying is Watson basically snooping?
Yeah, so why can't I move? I can't. I move. He seems stuck.
Who?
My tokens. I want to move them up here.
Where is he? Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Thanks. He was stuck. Oh, Watson's stuck. Oh, there we go.
Where's Watson? Oh, there he is.
I don't know why I can't move. Thank you.
Yeah. Maybe they got. I don't know.
And Watson will be doing the periphery, because I think, by the looks of it, if we do have an attack from above, will be ideal. So Watson's going to be just looking.
So Watson is just sort of. He's not like snooping around camp or anything.
He's just looking around, having a blast, going flying around above. Just get in the way of the land from above to figure out where the best bomb spots would be.
Yeah, I mean, he gets a pretty good idea. You have a feeling you're probably going to be fighting out in that courtyard. Seems to be the most space. And yeah, it's I think actually maybe let me move those boxes. You still, people are training, people are getting things ready. You can see actually as Pouches has found the wizard, druid, whatever, spellcaster Blackberry, who is basically she's going to be she's in here in the meeting hall, and she seems to be drawing up the basics of a contract. She has a quill and ink, and she sees Pouches you approaching down the hall. She lifts the glasses falling just a little bit below her on the bridge of her nose, pushes them up, just goes back to writing, dipping the quill.
I'm going to move into there, take a seat opposite her, and just kind of watch her for a bit. I'm not going to say anything.
She stays silent. She's not really looking at you. She's writing every so often. She dabs ink. And give me a perception check.
Please let me be good at this today. Perception so far has not been a skill I've had favor with at the moment. And it continues. Natural one.
No, it's quite strange. It's sort of off-putting. It's just, to have someone just be totally aware of your presence and the fact that you have approached them, but just to be completely silent and just be ignoring you and going about their work. And she's, writing things out. Every so often, she might look up. You think she's about to speak, but she sort of looks up as if thinking and is writing.
I'll continue to just watch her for now.
After a further 2 minutes, she says, was there anything in particular you wanted in here? In the contract.
I'm curious about... Oh, in the contract. You have to take care of the cat and the dog if we die. And you can see it pains Pouches to say this.
She and she starts speaking out loud. She says, the fearless fellows will assume care and responsibility for the dog.
Ember and
cat.
Mr. Fibbles.
Parentheses.
Don't judge me for the name. I didn't give it the...
Ember and Mr. Fibbles. She's called Blackberry, so Ember and Mr. Fibbles. Upon the challenges, deaths. Dot. Period. Anything else?
Are you trustworthy, Blackberry?
It depends what you mean by trustworthy.
I mean, if we kill your master tomorrow, will you honor this? Will they honor this?
He is not my master, but
Your leader.
they will obey.
Do I feel I trust her?
Give me an insight check.
$19. Decent for me.
You do. There's something very coldly logical about her. Something.
I keep looking at her, be like, I feel like in another life we could have been maybe not friends, but colleagues interested in the same path.
And it's very strange. It's a little disturbing and very unexpected. She actually smiles to herself, smirks. It's almost like her muscles are like straining, like it's an unfamiliar sensation for her. She sort of gives a smirk when you say we could have been, colleagues in, had said, similar pursuits or areas of interest. She sort of smile, laughs, and there are few interested in the areas of study that I am.
I kind of chuckle, and I do this intentionally. I push both my sleeves back up over the shoulders and lean forward and cross my hands so that she can see there's no band.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, few are still that manage to keep their study going.
Says, I'm not from here. Where I'm from, Lawhold has no sway, and believe me, they would still throw me in the dungeon for my studies.
You have me curious. What is it you pursue?
Oh. The transformation of life beyond death. And much more. Death is just another disease to be cured.
I think at another time we would have had some interesting conversations
Perhaps.
about what the natural laws are and how far you can bend them to your will.
Yeah. And she points and says, and like how long a halfling can live without their liver.
I kind of chuckled this. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm very relieved I'm not a halfling right now.
Yeah. Says, I don't know how medically accurate this would be. Doesn't matter. It's talking about halflings. Says 12 days.
I would have guessed shorter.
So did I, especially from the way he was screaming.
They have that annoying habit of doing that.
Hmm.
All right, I'll begin to like recount the story of like one of my contacts who had a little bit of a magical faux pas and in essence set himself on fire with some magical alchemist fire and be like, and kind of just see what how she reacts to that.
Yeah, she's not entirely disinterested, and she goes on to explain that she had once worked out and basically an incantation. She normally she doesn't. She said that the sisters wouldn't normally assist in her experiments, but because it had to do with fire, they were sort of interested. So she had the sisters essentially keep someone alive and conscious while they burn. She wanted to see what would happen, as somebody burned live tissue. How does it, because he says I wanted to see basically, was there any difference between, said anyone can get a body and burn a dead body, we do it all the time, but if someone is alive, how long can you keep, and it's just all very, it's all very Kyburn, Nazi doctor kind of shit, It's
Yeah.
she's an absolute monster,
I'm gonna from within my cloak, I'm gonna open one of the pouches and I'm gonna pull out my spell book. And I'm gonna be like, do you practice the arts in the same way I do?
I'm not sure anyone practices the arts in the same way that I do.
No,
My mother was a
probably not.
druid. Says I don't find as much use in distinctions between the arcane arts as some do. The druids and the clerics, they like to think they're special, but it's all one discipline.
I tend to believe that true power lies in here. I just like the book's now on the table and just tap my fingers on it.
Well, perhaps we have a little something in common. Now, is there anything else in particular that you and your party want included?
I can't speak for the rest of them, but let me take a look what you have and see if there are any holes.
Okay, she spins it around, lets you view it, and she says, before it's all finalized, obviously, if anyone thinks of anything, that they want specifically said, we can do that. We can just do that. We don't have to have a full-on conversation with Blackberry or whomever. Yeah, but you give me an intelligence check, Pouches.
Okay.
I suppose.
As she kind of pushes the paper across the table, I'll push my spellbook across the table to her. In case you're interested.
I doubt it.
That is up to you.
Sorry. Yeah, it's not your area of expertise, contract law.
13 total.
I mean,
we are still blessed.
Yeah, I mean, at a glance, or at a cursory reading, there's there's an unsettling feeling you can't shake, like when you've packed for a trip, and you've packed your passport, and you packed everything, you made a list, you ticked everything off, you saw it all in the bag, but there's just that feeling of, did I miss something? And you're reading this, and it seems pretty straightforward, but you're just getting flashes of like folk stories you were told about people that sold their soul to a devil, and there was some trickery in the contract, and it's like just that anxiety one would get with like signing a legal contract. It's like, is there some sort of word wizardry in here? But it seems you're pretty sure it's fairly straightforward, that it's like there's not a lot to it. It's more or less just, if you kill Belloc in combat, then we will evacuate. We will not return. Basically, the things that you had stipulated earlier, it all seems to be in there. And also that if you die, there'd be no further reprisals on the Brown Cloaks or any of your, friends or family. So,
as part of it, if we kill Belloc, does it say we get to leave in peace?
yeah, it says you will leave unharassed
and with no reprisals.
And no reprisals.
Okay. I'll kind of like just.
It also says, for their purposes, that Blackberry will assume command of the Fearless Fellows.
I'll just roll it up and pass it back over the table to her. Did she take my spellbook, or did she just ignore it?
She rather arrogantly didn't even bother to look.
Maybe one day we'll meet again and have a discussion about where our paths have gone.
Perhaps.
I'll at that point pick up my spellbook and slip it back into my coat and say, and just kind of nod to her and stand slowly.
She doesn't look up. She just said that from that point. She's just been staring at her work.
I kind of turn back as I'm about to leave. I can turn back and curiously look at her and say, "That strange fellow, is he one of your experiments?"
Strange. The jester?
The jester
says, no, he no, that was nothing to do with me. Dum-Dum's always been like that.
He practices a curious form of the arcane.
He's never told me how he does it. But I will find out.
I'm sure you will. I see a tenacity in you that not mere knowledge can satisfy.
Says, not tenacity. Patience.
Not something I've ever been very good at.
No, I can see that.
My elven heritage would be disappointed in that.
Oh, I'm sure our ancestors would be very disappointed in all of us.
I don't know.
She is elven, obviously, as well.
I hope to one day find out. And I'll just do like a little bit of a minor illusion of like this line moving through the air and then just looping back on itself.
Well, best of luck.
Maybe we both look for the keys to things we shouldn't. But you, like me, I doubt will stop. And with that, I'm going to leave.
She continues about her work. So, with this, as I said, the Mr. Fibbles come back to camp. So, effectively, what there is to do now, there's a bit of, we've got to basically wait until nightfall. You will be given, lodgings. You will be allowed to sleep. There's also a decision needs to be made because basically, I think once we'll take a break once we get to the point of bedding down and it's morning time, and the fight. But a few considerations need to be made, like are we signing the contract tonight? The people, is it happy to be finalized tonight? Is it in the morning? Also, is the dog going to partake in the combat? I just need that just before we get into it. Just that, do you want what little help the dog might provide? But otherwise, yeah, it's just.
I guess from my point of view, no to the dog and sign the contract just before. It seems more appropriate.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So in that evening, I mean, is there anything else in particular that people want to do in the camp before nightfall comes?
Well, I want to have a look at the contract.
Mm-hmm.
And I will go through all of my all the things I can do daily to change, so like the alchemy jug and whatnot, to find things that'll best suit what we're gonna do.
I'm just gonna wander and see if I can't find anything probably that I shouldn't in terms of arcane nature, spell scrolls,
Healing
anything
potions,
magical. I'll ritually cast a detect magic a few times and just wander the castle, seeing what I spot.
Okay.
I also wanted to get a chance to take a look at Belloc through that, but at a distance.
Okay, will you okay, I suppose you're wandering around. I suppose give me a stealth check just to see, if you're sort of walking around and maybe making it look innocent and making sure you're not loitering around anywhere too long, like the commander's bunks or Belloc's quarters or the loot stash,
I'm not really trying to dig and search. I'm more just
long enough to
walking.
sort of to get a sense of pinpoint where things because you're walking around, you'd have to get a sense of whether you're getting hot or cold, just to make sure, because it might look a bit suspicious if you're
I don't know why they rolled with advantage. Okay, apparently they roll with disadvantage. Let me re-roll that.
Okay.
11.
I don't know why it did. Okay, I mean you're wandering around. So, just give me 1 second. I mean, in general, all around, so it's blocked by, what is detect magic blocked by? Foot of stone.
I believe that's it. Blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead.
Yeah, so you'd have to get out in this room. there is you can detect a lot of magic in this room. And when you get, when you're underneath the wooden floor of Belloc's quarters, you can sense it above in that room as well.
What do I get a sense of? Do I know Belloc is up there for a start?
You don't know if Belloc is up there right now while you're sensing it. You're not sure. God, what do you get a sense of? Evocation, transmutation, I think it's conjuration, necromancy. Yeah, I think necromancy, evocation, transmutation, and conjuration. I think that would be
All on the same thing or separate items?
Separately you get those on different things. So I suppose it would be it just hang on, let me just double check.
Let me post.
You can use your actions. Actually, do you have to? I never read it, but do you actually have to? Because I know if you see them, like
You
a
can
visible
sense it,
thing,
and then as
it's
an action,
visible.
you can.
Yeah, that's fine. You learn the School of Magic regardless. Yeah. So, yeah, I might have to double check some of those, but it's. I don't think. I think it would be so. Basically, above from Belloc's, it would be. Do you know what? Actually, give me 1 second. Let me see. Is this? Okay, so that's evocation as well. Actually, so yeah, from Belloc's room, you're getting evocation. Evocation, necromancy, and abjuration from Belloc's, and then from the room that you're kind of in, all to the to the right of you. So basically, where all the bunks are, it would be evocation, transmutation, and is that it? Evocation, transmutation, yeah. And I think I'm not sure if that would be transmutation or conjuration. It doesn't have a strict school, which you're assuming means it's a magic item, rather than like an effect. So, and some things are going to be kind of difficult to pinpoint, because the item doesn't necessarily have a school.
I'm gonna go to the stairs where Belloc's tower kind of begins. Are there guards there?
There are guards. There are guards there. Yeah, there seems to be always somebody stationed. There's 2 guys stationed outside Belloc's quarters.
I'm just gonna be like, is he up there or is he wandering the castle?
Said he's Belloc's not. He's not there.
Thank you. I'll see if I can't find him.
You do that.
Then I'll wander off to that other source of magic I saw coming from the bunks.
Mm-hmm.
Can I track it down?
Yeah, sorry. I know I should have kind of deleted everyone. There are people, milling about. You're being given free reign to obviously, not be harassed. But there is like 1 guard milling about here, and you can actually see.
I'm not trying to touch it. I'm just trying to track down what it is.
No.
Curious
Just if you, as you're moving in, and actually, you hear from this corner. You can actually hear music being played. You hear a lute. It's very soft, beautiful, haunting music, and a woman's voice, like operatic soprano voice, slowly sort of singing a tune.
Is that in the same direction as the magic I'm picking up?
It is in the direction of some of the magic you're picking up. You're picking up magic from basically each of those bunks.
Which one is the magic item in?
There's a magic item in all of them that you can sense.
Are they currently open? Can I see into them, or are they curtains drawn?
The curtains are drawn across all of them, including the one where the singing is coming from and the music playing.
I'm just gonna is there anyone around, in sight of me, kind of watching me, or?
The guard is keeping an eye on you. He's... I mean, insight check.
I'm really not rolling well today.
No, difficult to get a read on him.
6.
Yeah. He kind of... You're not sure why, but he kind of shudders at one point.
I'm just gonna carry on walking, and just as I walk past, just peek behind the curtain and use my action. Just
which one?
The guard's over here, right?
Yeah, he's just kind of keeping an eye on you.
I'm gonna walk until I'm behind this wall, and then I'm just gonna peek into this one next to where the music is coming from. And I want to see if I can't identify what the magic item, or see what the magic item is.
You can't see anything immediately, but it is definitely coming from a chest, like a kind of a little foot locker, little chest.
I'm gonna walk forward and
peek.
peek.
Looking away right now.
I'm gonna peek into this one as well, which I'm hoping is out of sight of the guard because I'm behind the wall now.
Yeah, he didn't. Luckily, he just rolled a 2 on his perception there, so he didn't notice anything as you slip by. It's much the same thing. There is a lock chest, but you also see. Actually, this is. You do get a sense it's not a magical item. But in that quarters, in the little bunk, there is an iron sensor, like a incense that is holding. You're assuming that it's magical. It looks like a continual flame spell. So there's just an iron sensor that has a continual flame spell in it. There are candles around. You can see incense. There is a book, sort of neatly laid out on the pillow of the bed. You can see.
Can I see from this distance what the book's... Does it have a title or something?
It does have a title. What languages do you speak?
Quite a few, actually. Let me see. I speak Arcana Obscurus, Common, Elvish, Sylvan.
You are not familiar with the language that the book is written in.
To me, does it look like a holy book or like an arcane?
It has the look of a holy book.
Oh, no, then at that point, no interest at all.
It has the look. You've seen books around Lorehold. You know what a cleric or a paladin's, reading material looks like. It doesn't necessarily. It doesn't necessarily look like, a holy text. It's actually a little bit too. It strikes you as a little bit too ornate for You've seen the holy texts are usually like a personal copy, unless someone's very wealthy, which it could be the case in this case. It's probably just going to be like a simple leather. But yeah, that's what's in there.
No other magic other than the burning censer.
And then you can sense the magic once again, there is a footlock, like a chest, where there is more magic.
I'm going to slip behind the curtain and open the chest.
Okay. So, let's see. You find. Okay.
I love that Andy's being on her best behavior and she's not rooting in and nicking stuff, and instead Pouch is doing it.
Yeah. So you're just give me a stealth check.
Whew, 24.
Thank fuck. Thank
Nice.
fuck, because the guard thinks he hears something with his 17 perception, and then but you kind of it starts to creak. The pouch is, holds it back, and it only occurs to you when you open it and you see this stuff that it's a little strange that this isn't locked. And you didn't see a lock on the other bunk, like anyone.
I can imagine why it's not locked.
Yeah. But inside is hang on, I just want double check if I'm gonna just miss any descriptions on this. I think it's just a it's in like a little diamond, like a kind of a D8 sort of shape. It's just a prism, very clear prism, and it catches the light and reflects it. But there's evocation magic coming off of it, and I think and there is there are coins, there is currency, gold and silver in there.
Ignoring all of that, looking at the diamond, I want to cast Identify on it.
Okay. I'm going to say at this point, the detect magic is going to be from wandering around. It's getting close. Unless I'm assuming you started around here, you've probably got a few minutes left.
I'm going to do it as I'm not doing it. I'm burning the spell slot for it. I don't want to be here for too long. I want to know what this is now. So casting time 1 minute instead of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I want to know what this is now, and I want to get the fuck out of here.
Okay. While you're casting it, about halfway through casting it, the music and the singing stops from the bunk just across, and you hear like a little creaking and shifting. Then a different tune starts up, and the singing begins again. This haunting, beautiful woman's voice drifting out, and then the rest of the minute passes, and it is a gem of brightness with 11 charges remaining.
I don't detect any other magic in the chest, do I?
No, that appears to be everything that was magical in the chest and in the room, and there is also I don't know, are you taking the coins or leaving them there?
I'm taking nothing. I'm putting the gem back even.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yep.
I like, as much as Pouches is like a little bit of a streak of naughtiness, there's certain things that he just like, no, this is a bit stupid. What in his mind, what was maybe happening is that he was somehow using magic to sustain his life by feeding damage to others or something like that. And so when he'd seen all the magic in all four quarters, he was like, is there something going on?
Oh yeah, as he like linked them
is
up
he using something. Yeah. So Patches wants
theory.
to investigate that. Am I giving you ideas here?
Yeah, the classic. So
at that point, I'm going to kind of slip out of their room and actually peek into where the singing is coming from.
Oof. So I feel like if this was Call of Cthulhu,
But, like,
you'd have to make
no,
a sanity
like
check.
trying not to get caught way.
No, but if this is Call of
Sorry?
Cthulhu, I feel like if this was Call of Cthulhu, I feel like I'd be asking you to make a sanity check. Because it's creepy. So you see Dum Dum, the jester, is sitting there silently, and he's playing this pretty beautiful tune on a lute, bobbing his head, and he's looking directly at. And there's a woman, and she's singing rather beautifully. Her mouth is moving. The problem is that she's not attached to a body. There is just a head on a table, and her skin looks waxy, like she's tried to be sort of preserved somehow. So there's just sort of like a layer of cracked wax over her face, and the woman's head is just glassy-eyed, is just singing this haunting tune, and the mouth's not really. The mouth is just kind of moving, like it's almost open, like like if you closed the mouth, it would stop, almost like like one of those greeting cards,
Like a gramophone.
I'm just gonna let that curtain fall
Gramophone.
back into place and move on.
Yeah.
So,
unless anyone else is doing anything else.
I just have one quick thing, Andy. So, like, after a good while of sitting, just pondering, and actually, engaging brain and weighing up her options, Andy is going to have gotten up and kind of gone for a wander all around the camp, skulking around, sort of not interacting with people, but just watching and listening and stuff like that. She's trying to get a sense of not the monetary position of them now, but sort of like what kind of people these are. So would that be insight more than perception?
Yeah, I mean, you could give me insight, or you catch at least one or two of them telling pretty brutal stories, kind of if anyone's familiar with the Game of Thrones or the Song of Ice and Fire books, the kind of shit that the Mountain and his men, or the Brave Companions, but it's like they're talking about when someone some lord paid them to clear out a bunch of peasants that were squatting on his land, and just like one of them is talking about mutilating people, and they don't all seem to be like that, but it certainly doesn't seem like they're discouraged from atrocities.
Whatever depravities they can think of. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, one of the guys has got a singing lady's head.
Yeah. But just for Andy's not having to do an insanity check, I'm gonna say she missed that one.
Yeah. Would actually everybody just give me a perception check?
Can I sub that for an investigation check?
This is more related to something that you might glance or glimpse around.
Does the bless the general bless for all under apply to perception checks?
Usually checks. I'd say this would probably be the last thing, because that's going to go away on a short rest, and it will certainly be gone by the time you sleep.
17.
15.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry, T, you were muted there.
Yep, no worries. My perception was 8.
Yeah. I'd say, Pouches, you catch a glimpse of someone. Looks familiar. She's kind of there, and then she's gone again. She's like pale skin, long black hair. She's got a bow, and you actually remember one of the people at Camp Carbuncle had said, one of the other, captains, like the guy Griff that came in, was a woman, pale, long, dark hair, and she looks like the woman that you met with the weird fishy guy down in the catacombs when you were trying to fight the Lich, the woman who had the giant spider, the kind of ranger. But then she kind of disappears.
The one that works for the middlemen?
I think you assumed that she was working for the Black Cloak.
Wow, okay. I'm not going to say anything about it to anyone. I'll just keep that to myself.
So, then I think with all that, we are going to take a very belated break to have a 10-minute intermission, and when we come back, it will be deathmatch time. And we might, if it's okay, everyone, we might have to roll just like a little bit over, just however long the combat takes. You know, it could be over in 30 seconds. You could all die. We'll see. So,
on your Cloaks campaign.
everyone,
XP.
okay, so stay tuned, everybody. We'll be back in 10 with the death match against the Deathless Man. It's going to be great. See you soon. Hey, sorry. Welcome back, everybody. You have... There's a couple of things that some people still wanted to do, where basically now night has fallen. Contracts have not been signed yet. They said they'll do it. They can wait until the morning. You know, basically before it's going to be, pistols at dawn. It's basically sunrise. You'll gather in the courtyard for Mortal Kombat. But I don't know, Andy, was there something that you maybe wanted to do during the night?
Yeah, so in the middle of the night, like having settled down to sleep, but like really not happy with where her mind has brought her, Andy is gonna go to where Durrell is asleep. And
yeah, you're all in like one, they're gonna put you in one
area,
corner, Yeah.
So like Durrell will probably wake up with Andy kind of standing over him. She's got Ember kind of on one shoulder or tucked under one arm and a dagger in her other hand, and she's looking really what's she looking like? She's looking really unsettled, I suppose. Is probably the best way to put it. And she's just kind of like poking Durrell with her toe to try and wake him up.
What? Stop poking me.
Durrell, I've changed my mind. I think we should get out of here.
That's a lot to deal with at this time of night.
And she looks around and she's very clearly like shitting a brick at this stage, like, and she's just kind of like, look, whatever I said earlier. Yeah, but these are psychotic people.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, at least other choices, I know what to expect from them, but fuck me, these guys, I just think we need to get out of here. Like now.
Did we sign the contract? I'm too sleepy.
Well, I didn't.
You did not.
Well, I'm not either. I feel like I'm going to get my ass kicked. Whatever way I think out, we're fucked.
I have a way to distract everyone if we want to get away. Like Petrie lifts these 3 little flying clockwork toys that he's been tinkering on off in the corner over there that they can like kind of fly when they're what the fuck was it? I wrote them down. They like the music boxes. So with the spell that can do a sound, a music or whatever, a sound, music, or voice, and so I'm gonna all 3 will have a distracting music, one has like a warning voice, and another one has something else that I don't know, fake command from their officer or whatever. Mm-hmm. But we can put them up above in the center, and their little helicopter things will spew the acid, so we can like distract them with a call, and everyone looks up and spew, and we fucking book it.
Andy's
At this
reaction when you
point, I'm
spoke
gonna
up
roll over and
was
be like,
I thought everyone
He's
else was
like
asleep.
bouncing
He's
up
like,
and down.
"Oh, crap."
at this point, I'm gonna roll over, having heard this whole conversation, and be like, if we want to leave, we leave.
We
There-
don't. We don't
he's not
need
gonna-
to-
Oh, I do not trust.
Trust me, I had a long conversation with Blackberry. As much as they're
That's-
thieves, they have honor among thieves.
All right.
I tried to bring this up before as well. Did anyone see, like, I swear someone got shot by an arrow that wasn't Andy's. Maybe we can rely on some support.
But that would probably nullify the terms of the contract because it'll only apply to those of us who fight. And then what if that person was then apprehended? Are we just going to let them die because they helped us when we needed it?
I really don't know. All I know is I'm exhausted and I don't know how I'm going to win this fight tomorrow.
Having like woken everyone up is now like gone back to being quiet because she was pretty sure no one else was awake, and now she's like, oh shit.
We
Is
could
it 3
always
versus 2 now? Is it time to go?
attempt this another time if I don't know, decide on doing this at a much later date with him. If people still do want to engage in some way, maybe he'd be open to postponement of some sort. If he's as reasonable as he says he is.
My worry is that how many more people are going to be robbed and
A lot more.
taken advantage of in that time.
A lot more.
Fuck.
What's everyone's? Andy, your passive perception is 14. I think you and Thana might have the highest.
I think Thana's got the highest.
Yeah, Thana, what's your passive perception?
Passive perception.
Sorry, which stat?
Passive perception.
Yeah, no, I don't see a thing.
Yeah, I think on the sheet it's
Below your skills.
Oh, why here? 13.
That's it. Yeah. So I'd say, Andy, as you're saying this, would he, Thana's like, maybe he'd do it at a later date. And all this, you realize, it's then that you realize, because you were like, oh, I thought we were the only ones who were awake. And like behind Doral's head, you see, like on one of the, like on a high perch, there's like a little bit of roof remaining. And at first, like you thought it was like a pile of crates, but just perched there on their like the balls of their feet with their hands out is Pelt, the barbarian woman, is just staring at you all, and you can swear she's like a shadowed figure, and the moonlight catches her eyes, and it's like a nocturnal animal. They just shine silver, and she says, "It is now or never." Says, "Belloc will grow bored of his game. I tell him not to play with his food, yet he does."
For the love of all that's holy, you scared the absolute beast.
Well, I'm just keeping an eye on you.
I thought there was
At all?
honesty and trust amongst us. Why are
Says-
you keeping an eye on us from the dark like a pervert?
He says,
I just chuckled this.
yeah, it says, "Trust. I do not understand you people. Mine are the wild ways. There are the strong and there are the weak. You can trust the rest of this lot."
You've just wandered into a den of wolves and woke them all up.
I am merely watching.
And
There
what
would be no sport in killing you in your sleep.
what would you recommend? Do you think we should go ahead with this fight?
If I were as weak as you,
I'm gonna hit her. I really am.
yeah.
I'm just gonna say, there's no need for name calling.
I called you no names.
You called us weak. That is insulting.
You are weak.
Well, weak in comparison to you.
Most are.
Well, you're kind of built like I don't know, a brick, a very large one at that, just a boulder of muscle.
There's these games you play.
What game?
This game, it bores me.
Then-
Either face Belloc or do not. Fight or flee.
Bye.
So I will sleep now.
Yawn is one fucking roaster.
Yeah.
Woo!
She just sort of like sits back and sort of like curls up,
Mhm.
you know, almost like a dog, or, you know. She's kind of like, her eyes are sort of sleepily watching you.
I'm just going to like blow, like kind of hiss some air through my teeth and say, I hate eavesdroppers.
I'm just going to roll over and go back to sleep at this point.
Certainly seems a bit different than the others insofar as, you know.
All you hear Andy saying is like, as she's taken Ember, and while that was all happening, and she's kind of hidden Ember away back in the cloak pocket, away from the mad lady. And then as this is all,
the dog has been the dog has been like cowering away from Pelt this whole time.
Yeah.
Sorry, Andy.
Boo-boo.
Andy's just gonna like turn around and go back to her space for lying down. And she's like, fuck.
Just gonna look at Andy and be like, don't worry, I put in the contract that if things don't go our way tomorrow, they are obligated to take care of Ember.
Take care of Ember? What does that even mean?
Look after her, feed her.
Turn her into dinner?
No.
I swear
Ember
to
will
God,
have
Petra's.
Ember will have a happy life, sleeping on piles of jewels and things like that.
She just Andy's clearly in panic mode, so she just like glares, but like really, really terrible glare, like a really bad glare, and then she just scrunches herself up and like it's like fine, this is happening. Morning.
Yeah. Then just before you sleep, rather sleepily, you hear like a.
I'm not sleeping.
She says, "Do not worry." She says, "Worry not for your pet. It's scrawny. If you all die, your flesh will be much better."
Now I can sleep.
Can you just stop so we can sleep?
I'm just gonna like say to myself as well, like, note to self, add it to the contract that the crazy lady is not allowed to eat us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna summon some walls up and like.
As when you say that add to the contract, because she like then stands up, and then she just like and like leaps away like up onto another pillar and off into the night.
And I'm just gonna be like, Daryl, you're welcome. And I'm just gonna pull a blanket over my head and go to sleep.
She's sulking now.
The fact that she's sulking means that if they say if they agree to not let her eat you, then she's
They
going to have to
wouldn't.
not eat. Yeah. So there's at least some indication of loyalty and truth to
Following to the contract.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna be like, Daryl, you're welcome, and I'm gonna pull my blanket over my head and go to sleep. And you're just gonna hear like snoring start under the blanket.
I just like summon a bunch of walls up that encase me in stone against a corner in the room, and just like slam the door shut.
Like tough earthbender tent.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
So, what?
I'm gonna sleep through till morning and prep my new spell list.
Yeah, and
There's
Andy
nothing-
at this point she's just whatever's going to happen in the morning is going to happen in the morning. It's kind of fatalistically her attitude now. So
Mm-hmm.
she ain't running away in the woods when that lady's around the place.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna find somewhere to sleep as well.
Okay.
So does that count as a long rest?
Yeah, you get a long rest.
Sorry, that was an accident.
So, sorry. So, the morning comes. You are, I mean, we'll leave if because obviously if same as Pouches, if Thana wants to, you prepared spellcasters, you can swap your spells out.
My
and
spell list is
and-
ready.
and you prepare whatever you want, and we can obviously right up until the actual fight, if you think beforehand, oh wait, I wanted to cast mage armor on myself, or I wanted to do X, Y, Z, just let me know. What once we have the first, once the first turn has been taken, I'm not gonna retcon. I'm not gonna allow like stuff to be cast, but preemptive like prepared spells. But anything else anybody wants to do between now and then, we can just sort of assume that you did. So Mr. Fibbles is not getting involved in the fight, I'm assuming.
Nope.
But yeah, is there anything else anyone wants to do? And then a decision about the contract and whether we're going ahead with it, or are we living to fight another day?
I'm going to use Detect Magic on the contract when we see it in the morning. I'm going to ritually cast it not to burn a spell slot.
Sure. I'm assuming this is something you're going to be doing in the moments before you sign it.
Yes.
Yeah. I will just there won't be any illusory magic or anything on it. It's going to be.
I'm also going to use that chance to take a good look at Belloc and see what magical weapons he's carrying.
Yep.
I'm gonna take out my forgery kit and keep it on hand.
Sure. After the conversation with Pelt last night, breakfast being served, it's difficult not to be a little bit suspicious about what that meat is, apparently it's rabbit, if you're not sure.
I doubt the rest of them are into Pelt's proclivities.
No. You can see a lot of people are eating not as nice food. They are feeding you what the commanders are eating. I mean, some people are like, it's just there's not that much rabbit to go around, but other people there is like a goat stew, and there seems to be but you're being fed well considering it's not bad. There's a good cook in the Fearless Fellows. Probably important for a bunch of wandering outlaws and mercenaries. Keep them well fed.
I'm just going to eat and then head out to the training field. Unless anyone says something to me, I'm not going to say anything back.
Yeah. there are, there are people still like at guard posts, like when you arrived last time in that sort of front, gatehouse down towards the bottom of the map. There are people who have, it appears they have been there all night. You saw a shift change, and there were like four fearless fellows around the table playing cards and like gambling, and then yawning, and then when they were relieved, they changed shifts. So there is some activity. There are already people up in the morning stretching, trying on armor, sparring, but a lot of people have gathered in the courtyard and are just sort of loitering, waiting to see what happens. And the commanders are at the meeting table in the hall.
Like,
It is
look to everyone and be
still
like, are we ready?
pre-dawn or dawn,
Hi.
Okay, I'm gonna then begin to ritually cast. Like, you see me just kind of sink into trance and just start to
And
cast.
just as you try to sink into the thing, Andy's going to be tugging on your robe, and she's like, "Can you get them to put in the contract that if we're dead, and they can't do any freaky stuff with us?"
Yes, I'll make them put that in the contract.
Oh no, what are you talking about? Nope, not agreeing to that.
What? You
Oh.
want them to do freaky shit to you?
Oh my gosh, yeah, the experiments? How cool.
There's so much knowledge that can be gained.
I could learn.
Okay, fine. No one gets
the things
eaten,
we
and
could
Andy
learn.
doesn't get. No one gets
It could be
eaten,
our
and
ticket
Andy
out.
doesn't get experimented on.
Patri and
Dora.
Thana are excluded from the no posthumous experimentation clause.
Andy is looking around at you, particularly at the two of you, and she's like, "Oh my god, it's the group I'm actually with just as bad as, oh Jesus Christ, why am I here? What have I done with my life that I am here?"
Sana, I'm gonna pop up and say, I do not want dum-dum doing anything to my body, though. That is my limit.
Okay, well, there we go. I'm gonna just list all of this out for Blackberry.
As you're having this conversation, like, there is one of the guards who seems to be having the same internal conflict and monologue that Andy is. So he's like, these are the people that I'm working with. People are having to put into the contract that they can't be eaten or zombified, or just the phrase, Dum Dum doesn't get to do anything with my corpse after I'm dead is, And he's thinking about, where did my life go wrong? I didn't mean to kill my brother. It was an accident, but they never would have believed me that he fell down the well. We hated each other, and I ran off. I don't know, the army, and then the discharge, and the thieving, and now I'm here, surrounded by a bunch of fucking monsters.
So I'm gonna begin to I'm gonna like now sink in. I'm just gonna like clasp my hands together, and you see my eyes go like a little bit of purple on the edges as I begin to just chant. And then as I open them, my eyes are like fully purple for a second before they fade back to normal with just this purple tinge to them. As I walk into the room.
Detect magic.
Detect magic.
Yep. So you walk in, you can see, there are.
Can I bless before we head in?
Can you bless?
I think it's only a minute.
We can,
It's only a minute.
Anything you want to do, we'll just assume like you can cast bless right before we kick off. I'd say it would probably be like,
Yeah, actually no. Yeah, there's only up for a minute. Never mind.
But you can do it right before things are due to start, and it'll basically be like you'll get 9 rounds as opposed to 10. You'd have like 54 seconds or whatever.
Yeah.
If you do want to kick off something that's going to help us, maybe check out Aid.
Is that the one with the? Is that the?
Temp hit points one.
Oh, 10 hit points. Yeah. So, Belloc, what's he got? Yeah, you're getting.
Yeah, it increases everyone's hit points by 5 up to 3 creatures. But it's a second level.
Their max hit points, is it?
Yeah. Max hit points and current hit points by 5. and it
Okay.
lasts hours.
So he has, I suppose it'd be implication. His sword is magical. He has like an arcane focus on him, although it appears to be a tattoo on one of his arms, like runic tattoos, going up his hand. His sword, there's an aura of evocation and not quite necromancy off of it, but like dark magic. This just completely black metal blade. It looks very dark. It doesn't really catch the light. You've noticed now in the pre-dawn light as the sun is kind of rising. It's it doesn't really glint. It seems to sort of drink the light. And then there is something underneath his armor. You can't really tell where it's coming from, but you think it might be like maybe it's a pendant or something. So it's coming from like, somewhere around his torso. There is necromancy.
I'm going to take note of that one.
Mm-hmm. And then I don't think, does he have anything else that would be like an item on him? I don't think so. I think he's just got his sword on him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to then recite and be like, okay, some extra requirements for the contract. Andy doesn't want to be killed. Like, none of us want to be eaten by a cult. So, Andy doesn't want any freaky experiments done on her or to be given to Dum Dum. Thana doesn't want to be given to Dum Dum, but you're welcome to experiment on her. Patri, welcome to experiment on her, but no Dum Dum. And Doral, just give him a decent burial on the ground. No eating, no messing with. Same with me. Decent burial, no playing with my bits or turning me into one of Dum Dum's zombies.
It says, if you like, we can just stipulate that we send you all back to the Brown Cloaks.
That seems fair, although Patrice seemed quite excited by the fact that someone was going to experiment on her. Him.
Oh, very well.
So, 4 of us back to the Brown Cloaks and do what you like with Patrice. He was an elf at one point. I say looking at Blackberry at this point.
I'm still an elf.
She says, before I didn't really care whether you won or lost. It says, now I am rooting for you, Pillock.
I'm gonna actually laugh at that
Yeah.
point and be like, that would excite you.
Well, you have your sport, Blackberry, and I have mine.
And I'm gonna just wait till Blackberry's done, look at the contract. If there's no magic on it, I'll sign it.
As a Shogun Fate, he signs. He has already signed. Well, it's all like he's signed his signature. It says, there is still time.
Some things in the world are inevitable.
Just so.
They expect you to take decent care of the cat.
I love cats.
And I'm just gonna look at Andy and be like, you mean like alive cats, not like boiled in stew or something, just for her own edification.
What do I look like? A savage?
You hang out with Pelt.
Belt is belt. I can have
Yes.
friends with varying interests.
You do. I'm gonna chuckle nervously and then just sign as well.
Yes. I once knew a noble. He was a frightfully violent man. We shared a love of the battlefield, of shedding blood. But I did not care for his taste in opera. In the opera, I do not like the opera. But on
and
that front, Dum Dum disagrees with me.
I heard his performance
Yeah, like
last
the
night.
opera.
Hmm. Oh, oh, my condolences.
It wasn't bad. A little bit over the top for my taste, but not bad. And within the book, I am actually going to sign not as transcribe, but something else. And then I'm going to take my finger and put it in the ink and just wipe so no one can read it.
Okay.
Do we see you do that?
I don't try to hide it per se, but I make sure you can't read what I've signed as.
I'm just wondering, does the signature have to be legible?
No, it just has to be a mark. That's why you can sign with an X.
That's true. You can do an X, yeah. He is confused and intrigued. Says, "Well, the sun is almost up."
If we're away from the others, like if we're away and I don't think they're here, I'll say something to him. Otherwise, I won't.
I mean,
And he's skulking at the back of the group anyway.
Mm-hmm.
If he's like stepped away, and I'll walk over to him once I finish signing. If I feel like they're far enough away that no one will hear else.
I mean, he's probably a few feet away from the contract. He's got to sort of politely stepped to the side, you know.
I'll step over to him and be like, and just quietly say, "Man should die with his true name."
Ooh.
But I'll say it soft enough that no one else hears.
This is true. And hang on. Yep. So, is anyone not signing? People.
I'm good to sign.
Well signed.
Mm-hmm.
Andy will
Watson will not go, but he'll be lingering in the shadows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they take it as a an extension of it's you know what, we won't get into the ethics and the philosophy of it much. So, you know, we're not getting into an Isaac Asimov situation, but right now on the stream. But I'm going to assume that homunculi and constructs don't have legal rights, or they don't have personhood.
He's a real boy.
That's not my opinion. I think that's probably the prevailing legal opinion of you know, most societies in Andavan.
I would think so.
Yeah. Sana?
Yeah. Just because the others have already signed, and I know that to not sign would probably be signing their death warrant, so going to sign.
Andy will arrive back from the back of the group and sign. And as soon as she signs, she's going to back up to where she was, and she's coating some of her arrows and one of her daggers with her poison.
Sure. So, with it all signed, Belloc is grinning, and he smells the morning air. He says, "There is nothing quite like it. The song of steel, smell of blood. Well, shall we begin?" Are you ready?
I want to whisper to whoever's lingering farthest back with me. Do we want to try to turn everyone else here against him? And Petrie had recorded in a mimic of his voice something really nasty and like to trigger them wanting to, if that would help. It would
I don't think it's going to do anything.
And Andy, who is probably
In our
the
back
furthest
pocket.
back with you, is going to be like, yeah, Jesus, whatever at this stage, I think.
Oh no.
Save it for a distraction when we need it.
Oh yeah, they're up
He's
here.
bullshit. It's fun.
Where are we actually fighting him then?
Yeah, I'm just moving. I just was kind of getting everyone together. You can really arrange yourselves as you see fit. I'm kind of just putting you like down here. What is it?
You just dropped us to the GM layer.
Oh, I was still highlighting you. Sorry, I was like, why did he not move to the layer? Sorry, I didn't realize I still had you selected. Come on. Sorry, guys. It's picking up a bunch of shite. Okay. So, I mean, I think realistically, yeah, he's gonna be about there. So, I mean, you can be, we'll put like basically about, I'd say 20 feet between you, because I mean, even for a trial by combat situation, I mean, 20 feet between is pretty,
Might be more
so some distance.
logical to fight left to right rather than up to down.
Yeah, well, you're free to move about,
No, I'm just saying because like they're the gate behind us. They're not going to be like, oh yeah, you can fight him, or you can have the exit right behind you.
Yeah,
What I'm
well, I
saying
mean,
is that it might be more logical to put him over here
well,
somewhere.
the gate is closed. Well, now those pools are difficult terrain. They're actually like
here.
a
That's
foot
what I mean.
deep.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can position yourselves wherever you want. Really, it's just
I didn't realize
within
that was...
sort of 20 feet.
Okay, I'm good.
Well, I mean, I suppose I could actually make the difficult terrain segments visible if it's easier.
I'm just going to step back and I'm going to pull out my spellbook and all my arcane focus in one hand and just ready all my arcane focus. A couple of my spell components. I'm just going to have them like open the pouches and have them ready.
Mm-hmm. Oh god damn it! Why did it do that? Why is it? I really wish I could. Okay,
Before we head over,
let me
Petrie
undo
would
that.
have hid his 3 little toys out on the perimeter before he came in.
Yep. Yeah, so kind of position yourselves, I'd say, anywhere within. Hang on, let's delete it now. Let's say. No.
I slam my foot.
Say basically anywhere around there, in that brown.
Okay. I'm good where I am. I slam my foot into the floor, and with a rumble, a stone mannequin appears. I, with a flurry of blows, punch it a couple of times, and with the final blow, the rock around the earth gets summoned up around my hand, and I punch the mannequin, and it explodes into a shower of chips of stone.
Nice. So yeah, you are sort of preparing. Is anyone else doing anything before you ring
I'm
the
going
bell?
to just bless everybody. So I'm going to cast it as level 2, so I can extend it to everybody else except for me, and I can do myself later.
Mm-hmm.
Just remember, it's concentration, hey?
Are you limited to how many you can give out?
4.
Or is it you have to give it to everyone else but you? Okay, so I have a bless if you want to keep one for yourself.
Okay.
So what her bless does is it constantly blesses you for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So every roll for the next 9 rounds would be in the effective bless.
Sorry, I'm just trying. It's really annoying that this this.
I don't think
Is
the
that
fight's going to
as
go
an
that
extra
far.
damage?
No,
Look,
no
I'll
extra
just
damage.
I'll tell you. It's really annoying that it got rid of that. Right. So,
Turn order.
yeah, I was gonna say who is. Oh, did it got rid of him? Okay, so I actually oh no, he's okay. He's up there. Okay, so initiative.
I'm also going to just mention to Doro about the amulet that I saw under his shirt, under his armor,
Initiative.
and just say, if you get a chance to take it off him, do so, as well as Andy.
Don't forget you can dispel it if it has some sort of magical effect that's useful for it.
Have I got all this?
Don't think I can actually.
Yeah,
I don't think I have a high enough.
I think it's third level. I think only because
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I
It's
checked
a
it the other day
spell.
for something else.
Dispel magic is a 3rd level, is it?
Yeah, and I only have
Okay.
2nd level slots.
Okay.
Just in case. Well, that's 3rd level too.
Nico. Okay, Nico, will you roll initiative for Patry? Is he?
I can try.
Oh.
Oh, it keeps on. Okay. It just rolls once.
Ooh, nice.
14.
So good. Sweet. Okay. So you'll step out. Everyone has, the fearless fellows have gathered kind of all around the perimeter. Some are still in buildings leaning, and they're all watching. Captains, the commanders have just sort of spread out. No one's drawn weapons or anything. They've all come in. There's whispering, and then the sun has started to rise now. It is a deep orange, almost red, like blood just sort of spilling out over the swamp and over the ruins. And then you hear what Thana you assume is the sound of that draconic abomination sort of lets out a strange howling sort of roar. Belloc holds his hand up. Everyone falls silent. He draws his blade, the waved steel, and then it lights up in pure black flame. Havachi. And that looks like Andy.
Okay, so
Time to
Andy
shine.
is going to shoot a poisoned armor-piercing arrow at him.
Mm-hmm.
For 27 to hit.
That is a hit. His
Oh,
AC is 16. He's wearing this it's this strange spiked armor.
so, well, I won't bother adding the bless and everything to it because it hit. So the damage is, I think the poison gave. Did I make a note of it? Please tell me I noted it at the time. Where it is the
If
files
not,
of
I can
poison.
look at. I think I
Go
might have modified
one-
it, but let me have a look. I might have.
The effects of the poison weapon depend on whether it's poison. The creature is hit by it takes 1d6 poison damage and must make a DC con saving throw or be poisoned for an hour.
Okay.
I think it is what's in the standard blurb I have copied in here, so I'm going to assume that's what we put in at the time. So short bow damage therefore was 1d6. Okay, so that's for 9 damage altogether, and DC 10 con or be poisoned.
Okay. He 12 plus. That is, he got a 19 on his con save, so he's not. So Andy, you pull up. That's short bow, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was short bow, yeah.
Andy, having the coated arrow and let loose, and it does it. He's just seems to seemingly just sort of standing there for now, and it sinks into his rib, and he, and then just with a kind of gauntleted, he snaps off the shaft of the arrow, and he can sort of, you see, he feels like something sort of coursed through him, and this says, clever. And then he is going to use.
Oh, okay. I won't move yet.
Oh yeah,
so.
yeah. Sorry, you've got bonus. Sorry, yeah, bonus. Sorry.
So then, bonus to. I assume I don't need to disengage at this distance.
No.
So I'm just going to use my movement 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and then use dash to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Yeah.
Mine is line of sight there.
Yeah, I'm because I removed the dynamic lighting. Basically, those boxes and the statue would block line of sight completely. They're
Okay.
several feet tall.
So that is my movement and my dash, isn't it? 30 feet. Yeah. So that's Andy will stop there then.
Cool. With that, he is, because I think they're great, and I use them for the lich. The sort of
I'm
adaptive.
gonna just jump in on there. Correct me if I'm wrong, you can't use legendary actions, like you can't use a reaction until you've had your first turn in combat.
Well, I'm using villain actions from MCDM. One for the first, second, and third round. So, 3-layer actions. So he'll use his first villain action, marked for death. So he raises an arm, and those runes glow from black to red hot, and then he pulls it down, and all of you feel like on your forehead, just for a split second, this like something almost sear into your forehead, and you can't see them, but now there is a circular flaming black brand above each of you, as he has placed one of his black flame brands on each of you. That was his villain action, and he just smiles, that sharp-toothed smile, and which brings us to Patri. You don't know what these brands do yet. You have been branded.
While Patri takes her turn, you might want to just add Thana to the initiative order. I don't know why she didn't end up on.
Oh, weird.
7 for her.
7.
Nico, you're muted.
Motherfucker. I'd change it onto that thing so I would remember to turn it off. Okay, I'm going to cast. Where'd it go? Inflict wounds, but I'm going to hold it, and through Watson's going to swing right at him.
Mm-hmm.
Fly. He'll use his attack, which was the force fig.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, does that hit? Is it 13?
The 13 does not hit. Is this
That's just
Watson,
his. Yeah, that's just Watson's little move, and then his reaction, he'll channel my spell.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. Can I use anything to redo that, add to that? I don't think anything will
I
help.
think you're blessed, aren't you?
Mhm.
Or
Yeah.
was it Jeff? Hang on, who
No,
got blessed? The tree. Oh,
I
Watson
I
got
had one
blessed.
from before anyways, so I can use my...
He used his own bless, and I blessed the rest of us.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
it one
That's a.
D4?
Is my
Um,
bless not there?
I don't know. Well, who got the bless? Is it up to 3? So who is blessed?
Oh, she
It'll be
upcast,
up
so
to
it was
4 because I
Oh, she
cast it
upcast.
at second
Okay.
level. Yeah.
so it was Andy, Pouches, Doral, and Thana.
Okay, but not Watson.
Well,
No.
not
What's the
Nico.
name involved?
No, I have,
Anyway, I'd save it anyway, only because it's a little metagamey. But I think you got a 10, so you'd need a 6, which I don't think.
Yeah, you're not going to
Well,
make it.
does guidance count and then the bless?
No, you can't use
Guidance is
on
for
an
skill
attack.
check.
Right. Okay.
Uh,
So it's pointless then. It's pointless.
man.
Well, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, so okay, I got sorry, tree. So tree. Watson is knocking and weaving. He comes up, and he's like about to go in and deliver the spell, but just at the last minute, Belloc twitches, and he instead just sort of bashes into one of the spikes on his armor, bringing us to Doral. So you see,
That was the most disappointing thing
I'm
Patrice
fine
ever
now.
got. Sorry, guys.
Now panic is setting in, and Belloc, Doral, you're seeing Belloc is there now standing with his greatsword at the ready.
All right. Yeah. Dural runs up towards him, and with his rock hand summoned, he spends 2 grit points to hit this guy a total of 4 times. Yeah. After you take the attack action, you turn and spend 2. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong bit. Dread hand. Immediately after you take the attack action, you turn, you can spend 2 Moxie points to make 3 unarmed. Yeah, so a total of 4 attacks against this guy.
Nice.
I'm rerolling 1s, and as soon as I miss 1, I can also take an extra attack. So here we go. First attack, a 25,
Nice.
a total of 6 bludgeoning. Second attack, it's a total of 18 for 8 bludgeoning. Third attack, 15. Does that hit?
You got blaze, so it would hit because the minimum roll would be 1.
And he's 16 AC.
So yeah, I use a bless on it.
Well, no, you're blessed from Thana.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I use that. It gives me a +1. Does it still miss?
No, he is AC 16.
Okay, so the third one hits, and finally the fourth one. 22 for a total of 7.
29 points of damage total then.
So
It's okay.
So yeah, nice. Jeez, so Doral, you come in, and after all this, and just it's a thing of it's fucking this is it. It's now or never. This is it. Fight to the death. If we don't win, we're dead. Doral, you run in, summon the Titan hand. The rock forms around your fist, coalesces into a big Ben Grimm, the Thing hand, and Doral just comes in, and there's almost like a crack, a thunder just crack. You see, right across the jaw, and you see a tooth go flying out of his mouth, and there's another. You crack a couple of those spikes. They sort of dig into the fist, and it scrapes off. But you break some of the spikes off the armor. Doral comes in, grab the back of his head, and drive a knee into his gut, and then just bring back and just headbutt, and his head goes back, and he comes back, and you can see there's blood dripping down from his forehead, dripping into his eye. You see it seeping out between his teeth, and is smiling. And he kind of grabs the back of your head as well in the same way. He's like, good. He said, I knew you would put up a fight.
Dural doesn't have a quip for this situation. He stays quiet.
He is enjoying this too much.
Yeah. Is that you've moved? That was bonus?
That
to
was
do the
movement action,
others?
bonus action.
Yeah.
That's me.
So, pouches.
I'm going to swing out to here just so I can get a clear shot.
Yeah.
And I'm going to begin to chant in like a mix of Sylvan and Draconic. And you watch like my hands together, and then I just throw them both out to both sides, and you watch as this fire, like I draw the heat from the air. And I'm going to cast Scorching Ray.
Go for it.
Uh, 25
That is a hit.
for 9.
Nice.
27, so critical hit.
Four.
For 8. That was terrible.
Yeah, I really should implement the different crit damage rules because
And 24
four.
for 9 again. So that's 18 plus 8, 26.
6.
So not quite Dural, but almost.
Nice, but you have done a total of 64 damage to him already. So that's you moved a little bit. Obviously, you've still got movement left if you want to move any more. Bonuses or anything? Sorry, yeah, I don't know. You're muted. I'm not sure if you're talking or not.
No, nothing at this point. Sorry.
Cool. No, you're all good. So, Thana, end of the round. Well, before Belloc, you're up.
Well, I still got bless up, so
Yeah.
I assume it's been less than a minute. So I'm just going to watch.
Yeah.
And kind of.
Your bless is going to be up for the whole fight as long as.
Yeah, but I have to concentrate on it though. So I'm just going to keep watch, but also moving.
But
as
you can
the-
cast other spells as long as they're not
Yeah,
concentration.
concentration spells, I suppose. Yeah, actually.
So Guiding Bolt or something like that is always a great choice for a cleric.
No, I do not have Guiding Bolt, but I do. No. The one I would have gone for is concentration spell as well. We have to keep them in. No, much
Cantrips?
Word of Radiance. I'm going to cast that at Belloc.
Is that the one? Is Word of Radiance? Do you have to be? What's the range on that?
Oh no, it's 5 feet. I mean, it's further away.
That's the AoE one. Well, that's Sacred Flame. Ooh, hang on. Sweet, thanks for the raid. Rocks in my dryer.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to
Appreciate
cast Aid.
Yeah, nice one. Aid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet. So, okay.
I love the gargoyles.
So, who is getting aid? Is it what, up to 3?
Yeah, Aid would be up to 3. It's going to be Doral. And who's the next closest to him? Because I would probably assume that they would be the next in line to be hit.
Who's there? Andy's hiding behind the boxes. Pouches is kind of out in front slinging spells, and Patrice's in the bushes. Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so
Patrice's got the right idea.
yeah, so I'll go Doral, Andy, and Tree.
Hands in.
Okay. So Patrice.
Sorry, no. Doral, Andy, and Pouches.
Oh, sorry. Doral, Andy, Pouches. Your so your max HP is going to go up by 5, and you'll get 5 hit points to, count for it. So good shout from Thana.
Awesome.
Stana, you moving or anything? Bonus, anything?
I'm going to move around so I'm not
Mhm.
quite in his line of sight.
Yep.
Because I'm not a big fan of actual physical fighting. I'm kind of wimping out a little bit right now.
Hey man, that aid is going to come in handy, and the bless.
Ooh, actually, as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Can't do the 2 level spells in the one like.
In the one go, actually, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
no, that's cool. No, I'm going to keep an eye on it all.
Yeah.
I'm
You can
really
always-
anxious. Really anxious that stuff is going to go wrong.
I know. Speaking of stuff going wrong, it's Belloq's turn. So Belloq. Oh, what? Okay, so many choices.
Not what I want to hear.
Yeah, I mean Doral is right
Yeah.
there. Andy, I'm gonna say, I mean, can he see? I mean, yeah. How? I just want to. Where's the thing? Yeah, he could probably only see the edge of you, so I think you're probably safe right now. So who is around 20 feet? Okay, I think then what he's going to do is check. Hang on, sorry. Let me check this. Can I only do this once per turn, or can I? Nope. Okay, I can just do it whenever. So, first thing he's going to do is Doral. He draws the black flame blade down on you, and that is an 18 plus. That is a 27 to hit.
Hits.
So that is okay. 2D. Oh no, does he have? Hang on. No, that's fine. D6. So 12 slashing damage.
Okay.
Plus 9 necrotic damage. Okay. And then he is going to. You feel this thing, and he is like a burning, like in your brain, basically, in your skull, and you see him. His tattoos glow. He consumes the brand, and does another 5 necrotic damage as he consumes the black flame brand.
I am gonna use my reaction to do Bloodied but Unbound. I gain some temporary hit points and get some moxie points back.
Okay.
I take the hit and just sort of shake off the daze from it and grit my teeth. Ah!
What's Doral's HP now?
It's low. It's 20. It is
Okay.
beneath half.
So, and then Pouches, he raises his hand, and with a, 28 to hit. It's the same thing that he did to Doral earlier. He shoots out a gout of black flame towards you, and that is okay. Fuck. Okay, so that is 19 necrotic damage from the black flame lance. And then actually that was a 27 to hit, sorry. Not that it 17 plus 8, that is a 25. This is a 25 to hit on you, Thana.
Yep.
As then he basically, you see, he reaches out with that same hand, and you you see as he does it, he like lets out, like much like the Balrog, there is this whip of glowing hot hellfire. He unleashes the hellfire lash and goes onto you, and it wraps around your forearm. You can feel it burning into your skin, and you take max damage. You take 10 fire damage, and it is searing into you, and it's not letting go. It's still lashed onto you, and you can see when he does this, the great sword that he had, the flame, like that, the fire, it's become fire. It just shrinks, and it becomes one-handed rather than a two-handed weapon. So it turns into a long sword. So as he keeps the other hand held, the lash wrapped around Thana.
Wow. I need to make a Constitution saving throw to see if I can hold the spell.
You do DC 10. No, sorry. Well, yeah, DC 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You blessed yourself, though.
Mm-hmm.
You did.
That's gonna come in handy. Oh no.
So,
Nope.
go on. Oh,
Six.
did it? I'm not getting the roll, so did you roll the D4? Well, hang on. Did you bless it? Did you say...
I did bless myself.
Okay, so, yeah, you can roll a D4. Is it not?
Slash R1D4.
No.
Otherwise, I just do it off the quick menu on the side above
So I
night
think if
mode.
you go like right above at the bottom of the
There we go.
oh fuck.
And you can use your chat blesses to get that 10 if you really want to.
Does Thana have blesses from chat?
Anna has 2 blesses from chat.
Oh,
Ooh, and I will use one of those blessings.
go for
Thank
it.
you very
Yeah,
much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh god.
Thank you, chat. I mean, I want this to be as fair a fight as possible, or else it's just going to be a slaughter, and that's no fun for me or for Belloc. You know.
Yeah. I'm starting to worry about Ben and his sadism.
Mm-hmm.
Starting to.
Just starting to.
Yeah. So that was Belloc's turn. He's just staying there with Doral. Andy.
So I'm not sure how to do this. So Andy is bearing in mind what Pouch has said, that he has something on him that's a magical focus or something somewhere around his chest. She's assuming a necklace or something like that. So Andy wants to run up behind him, jump on him, and try to get the necklace off. But I have no idea what that role would be.
I think realistically,
Like I could try to cut it off with the dagger,
are you trying to like jump onto his back like
like a monkey.
as if he was giving you a piggyback?
Yeah, basically scale up him and then cut off a necklace if I can see one.
I would say he won't be grappled, but we might just treat it like a grapple. Or maybe, you know what, you can do acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
And
Okay.
I'll
It would not be
pose
like sleight of hand, maybe.
if she's trying to jump on him and, you know, prevent him from basically allowing her to monkey back him, whatever.
Yeah, like
I think the more important point of it is Andy's trying to get the necklace.
the necklace off.
Yeah. Oh, you're saying what would? Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just. I mean, you'll have to search. So I suppose
10,
sleight.
15,
I suppose sleight of hand. If you're going to try and
20.
reach into
25.
his, try and reach down his armor or pull something.
Yeah.
Go for the chain at the back of his neck.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of assuming.
To clarify,
like if,
you didn't
if
see.
there's yeah, she's assuming there's a chain.
Yeah, but there very may well be. You're not going to know to get up.
Yeah,
on his
so
back.
she's going to have run up and an acrobatics to see if she makes it up onto his back. Is it?
I mean, if you unless you want to, you probably the DC would be for the sleight of hand will be lower if you manage to get on his back. Otherwise, you can still try it if you want. So like,
Andy's not that tall, so she definitely has to jump up anyway. So I'll give you the acrobatics roll anyway to see if she makes it up. That's an 18 for her to have successfully climbed him like a tree.
That's bless.
Plus bless, I suppose, yeah. I
Because
kind of assumed 18 would be successfully climbing the dude, but okay, 20.
without the bless, it wouldn't have been because he got 18.
Thank you. Thank you,
So-
Vanna,
That
and
bless is saving us.
thank you, Purtis,
Yeah.
for reminding me.
So
Very welcome.
you are on the pig's back, like a monkey.
Yes.
He is.
So
He starts laughing. He is fucking knowing. He's like, this is like, like, it's like, what, this is new. You know? And just was give me a sleight of hand check to try and.
sleight of hand.
You cannot see anything around his neck. Now he does have very long hair. He's got long hair, so.
Okay, so I'm gonna use my inspiration to re-roll that.
Mhm.
To have rolled it at advantage. Come on. Oh yes, okay, there we go.
That's
And
bless.
I'll add the bless to that
Okay.
now as well.
I'm gonna say.
So that's a 23. Sleight of
So
hand.
you get on his back, and it's then actually as you're looking at the back of his neck, because his hair was always covering it, you notice the scar, the very deep scar around his throat, goes all the way around the back of his neck, like 360 all the way around his neck. Like, I don't know.
Like he had his
maybe
head
a
chopped off.
That could have been a rope burn from a gallows. You know, and you're like digging around. You like dig around, and you can't, like, you're trying to like find a pendant or something. But all you notice, and then it kind of hits you because you have a lot of them. There is a, like, just before he throws you off, because it'll be grapple trying to stay on, there is a deep scar running all the way down along his chest. It stops before you get all the way down, but that's
So-
you're feeling his bare chest, and it's just like a scar tissue. And then he tries to throw you off. But in his struggling, you can stay on there if you want.
Yeah, I'm just like, do I want to stay on?
Dagger.
Well, he's
I
gonna
don't have a
break it as an
huge-
action.
I don't have a huge
that
amount
whole
of
thing was an action, yeah.
So that was my action. So my bonus action could be to disengage, but I've only got 5 foot of movement left, so I'm not like getting
Do you?
far from him. I took 25 to get over to him.
But also,
yeah.
he's got to use an action to break you off if he wants to move.
Yeah,
Well,
I
he's-
think I'm going to try and stay on for now.
Well, he's not grappled, because I was saying if she could use acrobatics, if it wouldn't be an actual. He wouldn't be
Grapple.
grappled.
I'm just clinging to him like a spider monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would be
I'm
strong
gonna
enough
s-
to move with Andy on his back.
I'm going to stay clinging like a spider monkey.
Go for it. I would say, yeah. I mean, if you're on his back, then yeah, might even reduce his AC a little bit if you're clinging to him. You just stab him in the neck. So I think actually, yeah, seeing this, he is going to. Ooh, now this is a question. Can he do that without? Second. Okay. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, no, he is there for now. So, Patri, it's your turn.
So, did I see that the whole feeling of the scar thing?
You saw Andy put her hand down his top.
No, so he
Saw
was
Andy
like, he was
feel him up.
he was getting ready to cast Ray of Sickness, but like he's intrigued if like why Andy would have stopped would have stopped.
Why she's
when-
groping him in the middle of a battle.
Yeah, because she has like a fondness for, scarred, broken things. But he'll realize she didn't really pause on it, so then he's just gonna straight cast Ray of Sickness on him. Pew. Did that go? I really don't think this new laptop is as good as they say it's
Okay,
supposed to
so
be.
17's a hit, yeah.
No, sorry, the first one is 8.
Oh. Damn. No, 8. No.
He's just off his game.
Does Petrie have... you don't have inspiration ticked on the sheet or anything, do you?
Invisibility.
You don't have inspiration.
No.
Wait,
no, at the top. No, I don't.
okay. Well, Watson's got... He can do his...
He still has his move. Yeah. He will just smack him or strike.
Nice.
And
I'm assuming Watson's kind of hovering in the air a bit.
Yeah, right above him. So he'll do that and then move him away.
So yeah, that is a
Remember
hit.
to roll damage. For Watson's 4 strike.
Oh,
6.
nice. Yeah, so it actually hits him right in the eye. It's just like, there's actually, you see like a bit of blood spurt out, and like Doyle, you can see it. His eye is bloodshot, and like it's sort of bleeding a bit, and it's like blasted his eye. You can't really see through it. You know, you see he's blinking it back, and lots of fluid leaking out. And then
And Watson came back to where
Mhm.
Petrie is and go just good job, buddy.
Okay, Doral, your turn.
Let me see. I look over my right hand shoulder to Thana, and I say, "This is risky. I might go down." And I go in for another flurry of blows. I spend another 2 moxie points, which I just got back, and I'm going to attack him 4 times in a row.
Nice.
Let's see. First one is an 18 for 10 damage. That's good.
Nice.
Second one is a 12. If I
Bless.
roll a 4, I have bless. It might hit. Oh, help if I typed it correctly. Would I get a 2?
No,
So
miss on the second.
that's a miss on the second. So I still have another 3 attacks because I gain an extra 1 if I miss. So 3 more attacks. That's another miss.
With bless, you only have to get a 3 this time.
Oh yeah, true. Oh shit. R1d4. Bless. Woo!
Nice.
That was
2
the
hits.
first.
So
Okay,
10,
second.
9.
That's just missing. That doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
The final one. That's another miss. So that one
Oh, I
was
thought. Okay.
19 total.
7, 10.
19.
Okay. So actually, he is. What am I looking at here? So, Doral again with his eye is like completely fucked. It's like he's bleeding. He instinctively puts his hand up to his eye, and when he does that, you come in and rock him right in the ribs. You hear him crack as the rock hand digs into him, and he spurts blood out of his mouth. And you come in again and crack him just right there. You feel his cheekbone shatter, more teeth get knocked out of his head, and he lets out a little kind of this weird animalistic grunt, and then he that was action bonus. Are you
Yep, that's
moving?
me. Yep, that's me.
Yeah. He okay. Yeah, he is going to, with his second villain action, he is going to use Hellgate. So
Ooh, that sounds
That doesn't sound terrifying at all.
sounds awesome, but really not so good, I think.
Okay, so
But Patrice really eager to see this.
yeah.
He hasn't
So-
been able to put anything in a bottle yet from these recent
There
fights.
is- Shit, where is he gonna go? Sorry, I have to choose. Okay. So before he does this, I'm just gonna move him temporarily. So, where am I? Andy, you're gonna have to move back there.
Oh, he knocked me off before he moved, did he?
Well, because where am I? What the fuck is this doing? How am I?
I guess
going
he's
to
in
pay-
essence doing the misty step out of your grasp.
Oh, okay, so I just
Yeah,
land
I'm
back on my
trying to-
feet.
Hang on. 1, 2, 3. That's right. I need a 15 radius. Yeah. Okay. So darkness, brimstone, and blazing heat fill a 15-foot radius sphere at a point within 150 feet. The cloud of hellfire echoes with the cries of damned souls that can be heard by anyone within 50 feet of the cloud. No light, even magical light, can illuminate the area, and any creatures fully within the area are blinded. The cloud
Yeah,
walks the
Ben,
time.
your circle is off. It's further forward than it's back. It's centered on Dural, not on the point where he left.
Where he's just chosen a point within 150 feet of him.
Ah,
So the cloud walks the timescape in the area as difficult terrain. Any creature that starts its turn in the area takes 2d6 fire damage, and any creature that ends its turn in the area must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or take 2d6 psychic damage as the voices of the damned crowd their mind. And so when he does that, he then, as a bonus action... Oh, no, hang on. Sorry, he can't do that. It's not his turn yet. So he is still there. But it has just become inky pitch blackness, and hell has opened up around you.
okay, so it's not centered on him.
No, it's centered on Doro.
Okay.
Do we take
really scary,
the
guys.
do we take fire damage now or on our
No,
turn?
at the start of your turn you take fire damage, and at the end, if you're still in there at the end of your turn, you take wisdom save to take psychic damage. Pouches, it is your turn. I think you have to be fully in the area, so I think you're...
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
less than half. So
Yeah, you're not fully in the area.
is the area obscured?
It is magical darkness. It is like it's like the darkness spell. It's just...
Can you
inky
see
black.
with dark vision?
No, you can only see with devil sight.
I feel like I might have still some control.
Okay, what am I going to do?
You can still... I mean, you can't see, but if there's any
Sorry,
spells that you don't need to see...
Was there a
him, you can
wisdom?
still-
Was there a save?
No.
Something like
Your
this?
Patrice, all good. He's...
But for what they're
Yeah.
doing, I'm curious. What's the...
If they end their turn there, there'll be wisdom save, yeah.
I'm just looking now at what spells I can... Okay, so I'm going to go with where I last saw him, and I'm going to cast Catapult.
Yeah, go for it.
And I'm just
Guys,
going to
I'm
point
sorry.
at some...
I really made the wrong tool for the job. I was not the right use of this.
I'm going to point at a piece of the statue that I can see around the edge of the circle, and I'm just going to cause it to fly at him.
Yeah, it's deck save for him, right?
I will cast the spell now, and it'll tell you. Catapult.
I think it is. I'm trying to remember from doing it before.
Dexterity, yeah. DC 15.
Okay. That is a fail.
He takes 7 points of bludgeoning.
Okay, so
And I'm just going to take a step back.
okay, so that is Pouches, Thana. Some of you, you're like right on the precipice of this like you can all hear, like, from outside the cloud of darkness, you can hear screams of anguish. You can hear the damned souls of hell inside there, but you're not fully in it. You're just staring right at it, right into the abyss. Sorry, you're muted, T.
Right. So based on that, I want to use spiritual weapon.
Hang on, sorry.
Yeah.
And let me just check this. God damn it, where is it? No, okay, it's on his turn. Never mind. I just wanted to see about the hellfire lash is still around you.
Okay.
You can move though.
Cool. I did want to check in terms. I want to cast spiritual weapon, but
Yep.
do I need to be currently seeing him or knowing where he was? Will I still be able to use that spell?
Okay. Just think. I mean, you can definitely summon it. You knew where he was, so I feel like you could have a go.
Would be
I'm not sure if-
disadvantage.
Would be disadvantage,
Mhm.
but I don't think.
I was just looking to see about
If you can
summoning
still-
if you had to see the space where the weapon is.
Yeah, well, that's I
But
think
no,
you
you
can.
don't.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. So I mean, it seems if you move it in there and start swinging, you got a rough idea of where he was.
Well, she can summon it right next to him.
Mhm.
She doesn't need to see
Yeah,
the
yeah.
space where she's
Yeah.
summoning it.
Yeah, go for it.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna go for that.
Let's hear that.
So you make
Right.
what a spell.
That's not there.
You attack with it, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't know why. it's
Yeah,
not
no, that's
coming
not
properly.
whatever.
Weird.
All right, let me just do a quick refresh.
All good. Yeah. So before that was
While Thana tries to
summoned-
fix spiritual weapon, look at the puppy.
Maiko's gonna
Oh.
blow something up.
Mr. Fiddles.
Mr. Fiddle. Belloc looks pretty rough. Like with that catapult, like you're not sure. Like, but before the Hellgate was summoned, or you could see like he was hanging on by a thread.
What?
Oh, that's really weird. You can. What you can do if you just roll like a d20 plus whatever your spell attack is,
Mhm.
like your spell attack modifier.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus the bless.
Cool.
Oh, at disadvantage is also. But so I guess
So just do it twice.
d20, 1d20 plus 1d4 plus modifier, and then yeah, 'cause that'll be the bless as well.
And how do I do it on this?
Oh yeah, I think if
So
you
just say /R1D20 plus R1D4 plus whatever your modifier is. And then just hit enter, or copy that and then hit enter and then just do it, paste it and do it again.
do you have to put a space after the slash, or
No,
slash
it's
R?
/R straight.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Okay, that's
See.
this one.
Okay, let's hope the.
Oh god.
How is that? Hang on. It didn't.
No, I don't think it's doing it correctly.
Why isn't it?
It's not
doing it?
adding everything. It should have been all compact together, but I think 3 is not going to get there even with the bless.
Well, because it's a plus, but it's a +3, so
It can't be.
Three is the minimum that it could have rolled.
Yeah, I think it's just rolling the d20
Okay, but even that.
because
doesn't-
there shouldn't be spaces. You should go like equals.
But if you do the
like that.
oh no spaces. Okay.
Oh, no space at all. Okay.
Let's see if that actually works. Oh no! Apparently that's unrecognized command.
That's weird. Well, if you go on the left like on the the select,
Yeah.
like the ruler and all that, there is like a little d20 symbol near the bottom, and that's you can roll there. You can just roll the d20 and then roll the d4, and you can't add them together, can you? It's weird.
I think you can go into the
12.
advanced roller or something, but it's faster to just
So, yeah,
roll them and
that's
add them.
13 plus 3 is 16, so that's a hit. So if that first one is a hit, so we'll roll the second. Oh yeah, that's definitely a hit. So yeah, with disadvantage, spiritual weapon hits. And what's that? A D8 plus your spellcasting mod.
Yeah, so d8 plus 3.
4. Okay, yeah,
Oh,
that's right.
4.
By the way, you should have added your proficiency to that as well. Your spell attack modifier
yeah.
should be higher. Should be plus 5.
Probably, yeah, if it's plus 3. So
Okay.
yeah,
I'll sort this
D8
out later.
plus 3.
Yeah, d8 plus 3.
Yeah, I don't know why Roll20's getting weird sometimes.
4.
Oh, damn it. But, yeah. Okay.
Well, as my bonus, I could attempt another attack with spiritual weapon as well.
No, because you cast spiritual as a bonus. Casting its bonus action.
Yeah, but it's,
Yeah. Action time
oh,
will
it's a bonus to
action.
make the attack, yeah. So,
Yeah, it's a bonus action to cast and a bonus action to use.
Right. Okay. What am I looking at here? Sorry. Yeah. So, Thana, you just hear, like, none of you can see, but just from inside, what would Thana's spiritual weapon look like?
So, spiritual weapon probably would have looked like just quite a nice long blade. Something that would be fairly sharp as well, so really good for butchering carcasses.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Nice.
yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah, but you just hear this and like a cleaving. That's like you hear an anguished scream from inside. Ah! And then Doral, you feel blood spurt on your face. You can taste it on your lips. It's like, oh, this hot, something
have
got him.
I've got a description of what it's like being outside that circle. What's it like actually being in there?
It's just like nothing. That you can feel heat on your skin and smoke, but it's just it's just like magical darkness. There's no light getting in. You cannot see inside. It's just pitch black.
Weird.
You can, yeah, it's like the darkness spell. It's like magical darkness. Is Thana moving?
Yeah, I'm going to move further back from that circle.
Hellgate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I would still be quite intrigued with all the screaming and whatnot.
Yeah. So he actually is gonna, so Belloc's turn, he is going to, as a bonus action, 15, 20. Yeah. You move back, and then suddenly there's a puff of smoke, and just bonus action, he has appeared there, and you can see he's missing one ear and about half of his face.
Oh.
And his jaw is like hanging off. You've split his jaw in half right here, and it's like hanging off. His teeth are shattered, and he can't really speak. You see, you've taken a chunk out of his tongue. The thing just like carved half of his face off. And he's and you swear he's laughing.
I'm going to feel like a little pang of actual regret because I don't actually like hurting the living. But then when he starts kind of laughing, I'm just gonna be like, oh. And
but in teleporting, he did technically kind of go out of range of the Hellfire Lash. The Hellfire Lash dropped.
Mm-hmm.
So he's there, and then he's going to. Okay, let's see. Wow, those were bad. But I have inspiration. So hang on. 9, 9. I suppose not too bad. An 18 and a 16 to hit. Because the other one was too low. Does an 18 hit or a 16 hit Thana's AC?
Yes, both.
Okay, he is going to. You see the sword now that the Hellfire Lash is gone. The sword grows again. That is 9 points of slashing damage.
Yeah.
And and 9 points of necrotic damage for the first hit. Another 9 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And
I am down.
And then he seeing that you drop, he gets sort of actually because he swings one and it like carves right across Thana. You feel it burn, and it's instead of like cauterizing the wound, it kind of like festers as he gets, and then he slashes across again, just an X across Thana, and then he seems almost frustrated that he swings a third time and he misses because Thana drops to the floor. But that is Bellot's turn, and then he sort of wheels around on the rest of the party.
Sorry, Ben, did you say that was 9, 9, and 9?
9, 9, and 9.
You gonna need an ambulance.
Technically, I have 1 hit point left.
Wow.
So you might have not missed on that third attack.
Well,
whatever deity you worship, then.
Yeah, I didn't. I see. I stopped. You said you went down. I didn't roll the necrotic damage for the second attack.
So it would have been at least 1. So
yeah, I'm down. I'm down either way. So.
Oh God, I'm so sorry. I felt terrible.
Believe
with that one.
Do you really?
I actually do. When there was the hope that
It was still 1 hit point.
was then quashed.
Like,
so Thana is down, seems to be making death saves. Andy, you are in pitch blackness, surrounded by the screams of the damned, and so it is hot in here. It's hot in hell. So you take. Okay.
Would they hear Thana scream?
Would we distinguish it from all the other screams?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Over the. So
I think that what they would feel though is maybe Thana's bless dropping on them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, would the aid drop?
No, aid is not a concentration.
Okay, so the blast drop.
Yeah, Andy, you take 6 fire damage, and if you end your turn, and it's difficult terrain, but you're right at the edge. If you end your turn there, you're gonna have to make a wisdom save.
Okay, so presumably when he misty stepped or devil stepped or whatever he did to leave, I just dropped down and I'm standing.
Yeah, because you didn't teleport with him. He can only teleport himself.
Okay, so 5, 10. She's going to just back up. What am I stuck on? Oh, a rock. She's just going to back up where she had been planning to disengage and back up anyway. And as she emerges out of this, she's just gonna.
Yeah, 'cause you have to get around because it's like a wall of.
Yeah, she came
Right.
from behind the
Space.
crates. Is what? How do I do the pointer thing? Is that something she'd have to jump up, or is that reasonably easy for her to just run around? You know what I mean? That bit there.
I mean,
The
climbing-
start of the ramp.
I would say you're gonna have to. It's athletics to climb, realistically. So if you make an athletics check,
Yeah, no, I think to be honest, it's more just if she thought she's just gonna have like literally glance, so she'll run back the way she came. So that was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and then she'll dash 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then to end the turn, she's gonna just shout out when she spotted pouches, no necklace.
well, you can
You've
fire
got an
it,
action
you did-
still.
Yeah, you did movement and bonus.
Oh, that's movement and bonus. Oh, okay, so he's getting an arrow, hopefully. Wait, let me just see for 1 second. Yeah, I can get him without having to go through pouches. So, But when Thana's unconscious, does that count as? Can I use my sneak attack? Or no, I didn't think so. So this is another poisoned armor piercing. Oh, there we go. So that's 18 plus,
That's a
just for
hit.
the sake of argument.
Yeah, the
No
armor-
bless.
Oh, no bless.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
sorry,
the
yeah.
armor-
Well, 18 to
armor-
hit.
the armor piercing arrows were
Plus
something
1
that I
anyway.
made for the campaign that I think. What is it? Did just ignore heavy armor, I think, or something.
Yeah, I
sorry,
think
I
it's
can't remember.
basically it lets you hit armored people.
Yeah. So that's the
So 8
That's
piercing.
8 piercing, and then a d6. So that's 12 with the 2 poison damage. Or no, 10. Jesus, my maths. 10 with the 2 poison damage.
And a con save.
And he has to do a con. Was it DC 10?
Mhm.
It's only a DC 10.
he passed. He's not poisoned, but you sink this in, like it goes right into his neck, and there's a spurt of blood, and he's standing, but he falls down on his knees, and the sword drops out of his hand, and then you see the sword start to like wobble on the ground, and it raises up as if it's going to go into his hand, but it starts hovering above his hand. And then you see Doral, light floods back into your vision as the Hell Gate is closed, and then that smoke and the black flame from the gate gets drawn back into the blade, and it's his final villain action. Belloc the Deathless uses Consuming Flame as the black flame blade flies towards Doral, and Doral, it just pierces your heart. It goes right through it. It's like it becomes pure flame, goes right through Doral. Doral, you drop to 0 hit points, and then it becomes flame again, and he pulls it out. And how many hit points did you have left, Doral?
I had exactly 20, but I also had 7 temporary hit points.
But he does get
So he gets 20.
the
That was
20 hit points
27
back, and you see part of his face heal, and he stands up temporarily. And Andy, you can see Doral is now, there is a gaping wound in his abdomen, and Doral is bleeding out. So, you're muted, Nico.
So now it's up to me to come in on after that. Jesus. He's right here. So how's where'd Andy go? How's she looking?
He still looks rough as well. Like
He does, but
Andy
Okay.
looks good.
well, because I do have a healing. I do have a healing spell. If anyone desperately needs a bit of healing.
Durham or Thana.
Yeah, I'm down.
Who wants it now? Who looks the weakest?
Oh, I'm down.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
both unconscious. Doral and Thana are both unconscious at this point.
So it's much of a muchness right now.
Yeah, they're both dying.
But if
Basically,
you bring me back, then I can help Doral.
I'll bring. There you
Thana
go.
is a cleric. Thana does have, she'll have healing spells.
Level 7.
Okay, so that is for Thana, is it?
Thank you.
It's a bonus action, so I still feasibly have an action. But
Yeah.
You just can't cast a spell.
You can do a
Oh.
cantrip, but you can't cast like another spell slot spell.
yeah. Cool. Well, I will do acid splash on him.
Yeah,
Yes.
go for it. Yeah, so
Go.
yeah,
Computer's so slow. I don't know if it's the internet or my computer.
yeah. So yeah, this bubble of acid bursts over and it splashes on the back of his neck. Let's out of hell, Thana, as you come back to the land of the living. You're staring up at Belloc's back, basically, and you smell burnt hair and see his hair burning and his flesh at the back of his skull start to
It's like-
melt. And actually, then
A rain of green acid going over your head.
yeah. So Patrice still got his
Doesn't get
movement,
you.
and then
Yeah.
Watson's attack.
Oh, actually, hang on. Let me check something. Do you need to use your bonus action to command Watson to do something?
Oh yes. Yep.
Let me
Doesn't
see,
matter
let me
either
see.
way.
Oh,
Don't
that
bother to
was
check.
the-
She rolled a 10. Doesn't
Okay,
hit
It
either
wasn't.
way.
I think that's only to make him use my reaction. I have to use my bonus action to channel it to him, but he can still do.
unless
right?
you use your bonus action, all Watson can do is dodge. Apparently, he works like the some of the like I can't remember
Well-
if it's the familiars or the summons or the ranger ones. But yeah, I mean
Yeah.
the acid splash. So
Well, we'll step
yeah,
a little bit then to here.
cool.
How that plan is up. Hey, come on.
Mhm.
Come on back.
Yeah. Hey, here we go. Come on. Doral, could you could you whisper roll me a death save, please?
Sure. Is it /GM roll?
I think so. Or can you do? How do you do 2? I'm not sure how you do that as well.
You have the 2 GM toggle on your Roll20 sheet, no?
No.
Ah, okay.
Otherwise, if you use the quick rolls, if you just click the GM button at the top and then
Oh yeah.
20.
So is it /GM roll 1d20?
I think it is.
Yeah, I'll give that a go. Did that come through to you then?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So, pouches. Thana has gotten back up. Doral is still down.
And this
Belloc
guy's
is
looking pretty-
Yeah, he looks like.
Which way is he looking? Is he looking
half a
towards
corpse.
me?
He was. I mean, in a second ago, he just got acid splashed, and so he has glanced over his shoulder. He's seen Thana, so he's sort of turning, kind of between the two. Like he's sort of side on. You know what I mean? Like
I want to
to
catch his eye as he's turning, and just say, "A good day to die," and then I'm going to again begin the chant of the Sylvan, and you watch as these fiery tendrils pull from my fingers.
Mhm.
And I am going to cast Scorching Ray 3 times.
Go for it.
16 for the first one,
Hit.
10 points of fire damage.
Yeah.
I think I've got a bless. I do.
Yeah.
I'm going to bless that one to get me to a 19
Mm-hmm.
for 7 points of fire damage.
Okay, 17.
And number 3 is a 10.
So he's looking. You say, "A good day to die." Yes. They all are. And you fire one ray, and it seems to blast him back, and he falls to one knee. He's raising the sword. The other scorching ray hits his hand, and it blasts off a couple of his fingers, and he drops the sword. And then the last one, the hands come together. It fires, and it just strikes him right in the front of the face. You smell more burnt hair. His hair goes back, and his flesh just in one wave melts, and you can see just burnt flesh. His nose gone, just a dark hollow. His teeth chattering, his jaw still half hanging off. And then Belloc the Deathless dies and falls face first into the mud. And the
Anyone
cat
else getting serious
silent.
Imhotep vibes?
Yeah. I'm
Doral is
just gonna
dying.
cast, I'm just gonna cast healing words.
Yeah.
Are we out of initiative?
Yeah,
Are
he's
we?
dead.
Oh well, Andy's legged it over to Duro.
I'm going to
Yeah.
move over to Belloc, and I'm going to roll him onto his back. And I'm just going to kind of put him in repose, like Boromir style.
I was going to say put him into the recovery position.
No, like hands
Yeah.
crossed on his chest,
Yeah.
blade in his hands, and just be like, "You fought well."
And Blackberry sort of appears from the she's standing in the doorway this whole time, pretty much. And said, "He always does." And she says, "Well," she's kind of looking, make sure everyone's alive. Andy,
I like
so yeah, you have been so Doral. You again come back to life, and much like when you woke up in the middle of the night,
Andy is standing
just
over you with a
standing
dagger.
over you.
As soon as I get my bearings around me, I sprint towards the body of Belloc, and I kick the sword out of his hands.
Just before, or just as you start to take off, you get a smack on the shoulder from me saying, "Not this way." And then
I'll kind of just step in front of it, like,
you probably
He's
barely
gone.
feel it as you go.
Gone. Do you not remember the last time something resurrected and ate us again? And I attempt to punch his head.
The Blackberry then they put up the hand and says, "Enough! It's done."
He's gonna come back, isn't he?
You have won. Said, as agreed, we will vacate. But we will need the day.
you
You
have
can
the day.
stay to watch us if you wish, if you do not trust us.
I think
But
it's
it
more
will
a
take some
question
time
of
to break camp.
we will stay, but it is not to watch you. It's to lick our own wounds.
Aye. And they all
The
gather
swamp
around.
is not a place you want to journey through.
No.
I look around at all the other people watching of these fierce fellows.
Some of them are like pale, like they're just like stunned that Belloc has just
I
been
look
killed.
back at the person who told me to stop, and I say, "You're very lucky. I'm not in a position to fight this point. This will be the hill I die on."
Says, a deal is a deal.
Exactly.
And Pelt comes over, and Pelt picks up Belloc's body and starts, moving inside. Blackberry is saying to other people, the sisters come over, and that Blackberry says to them, we will send him off, at sunset. And Pelt goes with the sisters, and they go inside and take his body. Dum Dum has been watching this whole time. He's been perched on the fence from one of the sparring areas, looking at you. Blackberry stands and looks as, well, seems our business here is concluded.
Andy's just standing with her daggers like she doesn't believe that this is it done.
She starts shouting and she says, fellows, break camp. And then they start, some start going about, like some of them are stunned and standing there kind of bewildered, and she has to, she claps her hands, they get moving, and you see captains and the regular sort of grunts are now, people have gone inside, they start rolling up their bedrolls. You see them taking weapons off of racks, taking them to crates, they're packing things up. And as the brigands begin to break camp, Pelt and the sisters take off the body of Belloc the Deathless, and the sun has reached its peak in the sky. It is finally day, dawning on a strange new day. You're all glad to be alive, but somehow feels like, I don't know, there was more going on here than you realized.
Yeah.
But it is a new day, and you are alive, and that is good. And that's where we're going to end it.
And that is good.
And that is good.
And
sorry, it went a bit late there, but I had to get through the combat with Belloc the Deathless. Not so deathless, it seems. So thanks everyone for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Remember, you can catch the VODs. You can catch up on all of these on the YouTube channel. Although this episode will be up on Twitch for I can't remember how long Twitch keeps them. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. So remember 16th, so Tuesday 16th at 5 p.m. or thereabouts Pacific Standard Time. The Kickstarter for Waystar is going to be launching, so keep an eye on that. And we will see you in 2 weeks' time for more Cloaks. And what the fuck they're going to be going back to, we'll see. What has changed for them, what hasn't. So, see you then, folks.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.